Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kinda dumb with a finger and a thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and you hit the ground running. Didn't stop back to your head gets smart, but your brain gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see, so much wrong with babe in the backseat. You never know if you don't go. You never shine if you don't glow. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game on, get paid. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break up my world. And it only gets warmer. You're bundled up, but when it gets older, the media men beg together, judging by the hole in the satellite picture. The ice we skate is getting pretty thin. The water is warm, so you might as well swim. The wire's on fire, but how about yours? That's the way I like it, and I never get bored. Anyway, yeah, R.I.P. the Smash Mouth guy. How is everybody? We got Tyler and Northern English Bastard here. This beautiful American Labor Day holiday. Talking about the strike and other things. Specifically, how are you guys?
Bad. I'm going well. You
okay,
lot?
I couldn't tell if you were talking and I couldn't hear you all of a sudden. Well, yeah, I don't know. This funny is because this news broke last night that Steve Harwell is on his deathbed and he only has days or weeks left to live. And then like 10 hours later, we woke up and they're like, nope, he's dead. Liver failure. He drank himself to death. I mean, it's pretty rock star, right?
Yeah, usually they die earlier, don't they? What, like 27? All the best rock stars like Jimi Hendrix and that.
Oh, yeah, only the super elite. I don't think the guy from Smash Mouth is comparable to Kurt Cobain and Jimi Hendrix. No insult meant to the guy. I mean, I'm sure even he would agree, right?
Yeah, made nice little bit of money off that song for a good while. So I don't know if he ever went poor after, or he still survived well off his royalty checks.
Well, what's cool is like that song, Smash Mouth All Star. You can mash it up on any song. You can mash it up on so many damn songs. It's insane. It seems like most songs are in this key structure. So it's pretty fun little trick. I do like the other songs that did. Was it Might As Well Be Walking on the Sun? Might as well be walking on the sun, right? What are some other ones?
I missed that one.
It's like you say man. I don't know the words, but yeah. What was another one? I like the from Orgasmo, the soundtrack. They had a song that was called "Sorry About Your Penis." You ever hear that one?
I need to watch Orgasmo. I do, because it's Matt Stone, Trey Parker.
Yeah, it's good. And the soundtrack is something I had back in like fucking middle school or high school. I love that movie and the soundtrack. And April March, Crystal Method. Who else was on that? Whoop whoop. That's the sound of the police. Black Dilated Peoples. They were on it. There's so many good rap and stuff. But one of the good songs they had was Smash Mouth. And I guess they used to be kind of more of a punk rock band before they jived into this like lounge type, commercial rock kind of vibe. But they had this like, lounge version of this famous punk song they used to do. And it goes like, I bet you say dude a lot, stuff like that. Just making fun of this guy. I bet you got overhead cams. Your truck is probably 20 feet tall. And then the chorus comes in, sorry about your penis. Sorry about your penis. Good song. Little bongos. That was good stuff. I miss the 90s, But I guess all of our childhood's heroes are dying. Also, our dear friend Jimmy Buffett making margaritas for breakfast for Jimmy. He's here. Someone's here. Toxic's here. Hey, How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man.
Hey,
How's your coffee?
It's still brewing. I bought a coffee machine for the office, so.
Oh, how is the office coming?
Real good, real good. I got somebody bringing me some certificate frames so I can hang up all my awesome certificates of all the stuff I did. The stuff I can claim I did.
Are you still working at this bar as well?
Yeah, I got to still
Cool.
work at the bar. I can't really disengage from that. It makes too much money.
Of course. Yeah,
So.
dude. Well, that's cool. Yeah, we were just mourning the loss of the guy from Smash Mouth.
Yeah. What was that deal? He OD or something?
No, he had liver failure from drinking. But what's crazy is, like we said, they thought he was going to be on hospice. I was reading last night, breaking news. He's on hospice care. He has weeks, maybe days to live. And then he died like hours later. It's like crazy.
Climate change.
Yeah, I blame climate change, of course. I mean, liver, man. You can't be drinking that much. I mean, this is why I like smoking herb. It means I drink less. My alcohol has like twice the punch, you know?
Because you're my friend, I'm going to let that statement go as it is and not completely get all shitty on you. But no, drinking's very important to life.
Yeah, I mean, I like drinking, but, drinking 25 beers, it's like I'd rather just drink like one strong whiskey drink. And, whiskey, coffee, and water. It's the holy trinity. I've said that before. I'll say it again. It's good stuff. But you got to do all three in moderation. What happened, Tyler? What's wrong, Tyler?
Nothing. I almost got up to try and get my dog through the door that he's too stubborn to go for himself.
Oh,
Tyler, is that the Canada behind you? Is that Canada?
Yeah.
That is beautiful back there. Wow,
Thank you very much.
That's amazing.
We were talking about before we started how this is like Tyler's new spot to stream, and it's very scenic. And it
looks like a screensaver, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a green screen, right? I wouldn't be surprised.
That's just the sunlight.
No, we know it's real because we hear like lawnmowers and bees and planes and stuff all the time. Unless if it is fake, then props to you for production value. You're really selling it.
I mean, a part of me is jealous that he lives in such a nice place, but then another part of me would be really proud that he gaslight us and he like lives in this little hovel somewhere and he just came up with this amazing green screen background thing.
Well, I would be worried if we, have to stream again in February or something, and there's like a blizzard and he still is streaming outside. I'd be like, just go inside, Tyler. It's fine. I know it's beautiful, but we don't need to see it. But yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on Jimmy Buffett? I'm kind of sad Jimmy Buffett died, honestly.
They kind of always come in threes, don't they, sir? Are we waiting for another rock legend to die?
There might have already been, I wouldn't be surprised if Smash Mouth was number 3 and we just didn't notice number 1, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's funny is like Jimmy Buffett. Sorry, I'm hiding the punchline of this meme. Jesus. For Jimmy Buffett, we make margaritas for breakfast.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw a meme that was I kind of agreed with it, but I also thought it was like taking it too far where they're talking about like Jimmy Buffett, his music just encouraged a generation of slackerdom and just encouraging people to live life like by the minute for mindless numbness and pleasure.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? But also it's like, but music is like escapism, it's like you can have a shitty life and just want to relax and listen to Jimmy Buffett. Imagine eating a cheeseburger in paradise or whatever the hell that song's about. I was reading about how Jimmy Buffett was so chill. Did you hear about this Jamaica incident? He's like flying his own plane over Jamaica, and I think Bono. It's either Bono or Sonny Bono. I think it was Bono. U2 Bono. They're in the plane, and Jamaican authorities they think he's like smuggling something. They think they're smugglers, and they literally start like opening fire on them, and then they make them land, and then they storm the plane, and then they realize it's Jimmy Buffett and Bono. And rather than being like upset about it, like Jimmy Buffett was like, "It's cool, these things happen," and then he wrote a song called "Jamaica Mistaka." And
yes, I know of that.
Just to chill. That's how chill he was. You know what I mean? He could have sued the shit out of all of them. He chose not to. Hey man, it happens, dude. Jamaica Mistaka.
Hey, you Jamaican Mistaka trying to shoot out my plane out of the air. No big deal, buddy. Oh,
hey, no harm, no foul, bro.
Definitely more chill than any of us can ever aspire to be. So I know we've kind of scrambled this together last minute. It's Labor Day. Happy Labor Day, everybody. But one of the things me and Blue Collar have been talking about and we've been kind of dedicated to is going and seeing all these re-releases, which I think me and Tyler talked about this. We're pretty happy if this is a consequence of the writer's strike. I'm all for it. I love to see classic movies in the theater that I didn't get to see, that I only ever saw on VHS or DVD when I was a kid.
Yeah, I mean, that is something I was going to talk about once we start getting into that.
Are we waiting on Chris? We waiting on Chris for that? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But because I did want to talk about Equalizer first, but back to
okay.
We could vamp on Jimmy Buffett some more though, because here's the thing about Buffett. It's funny that it's ironic, not funny, but it's ironic that the Smash Mouth guy is the one who died of liver disease from drinking, because you have to understand the parrot heads, they drink so much fucking hard liquor all day at these Jimmy Buffett concerts. It's insane. My keyboard player, who's actually, his birthday is the same day as Megan's. They might be the same age actually, but September 1st, Jimmy Buffett's like one of his dad's like idols, and my keyboard player's a huge fan of Jimmy Buffett too. And he died like literally the day after his birthday, which is kind of sad. But at least he was the ripe old age of 76, and he died of natural causes. But it's so crazy that the Smash Mouth guy is the one who had the liver problems, because like he said, my keyboard player, he said he went to it with his dad, who's an old man. And he went with his dad to a Jimmy Buffett concert. And it's like this old man and all his old man friends, they meet at like 9 a.m. in the parking lot tailgating. And they're just like liquor, like Jim Leahy style levels of liquor all day.
Wow.
And then they get into the concert and it's just more liquor. They just drink like crazy fishes.
I can't do liquor that early. If I start doing liquor that early, I'm gonna wind up locked up somewhere
in jail again.
I'm gonna
hey,
wind up back.
We brought up prison already. Oh yeah. Nice. No, that's funny though.
Kiss my ass.
But it's also it's not always you. Usually lately it's been Chris that brings it up first.
It's been Chris more than me lately, but when we did our Equalizer stream the other night, I think we went into it.
Yeah, how was that? I know we were catching ins and outs of it, and you were wishing Megan a happy birthday. That was cool.
Yeah, and again, happy belated. How was the stream, or how was the film?
We'll talk about the film later, but how have the last couple streams, like especially these Justified streams and stuff?
Yeah, it's been interesting doing it. Not live, the Equalizer thing was live, and then we've been doing the Justified Primeval shit show. And then where we
is it the shit show now?
Oh, it's a shit show, man.
Oh,
I can't I'm so sad.
You were definitely defending it as long as you could.
I was because it was pretty faithful to the book for a while, and I'm a big I'm a big bookie. And I do
Elmore
love
Leonard.
me. Yeah, Elmore Leonard. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Were some of these audience members like kind of rubbing it in your face, or were they chill?
No, actually, no. Yeah, no, not really.
They were gracious that you came around and changed your mind.
Yeah, I really thought RRTNZ was going to really stick it in my butt.
I was talking about him specifically. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, man, sad to see it go like this, because they did kind of dovetail, and I'm not going to give it away. I mean, you can watch the stream, I guess, and it gives it away, but they do kind of try to fix the ending, but it doesn't match the rest of the thing they were doing. Like I said, man, they should have just stuck and instead of trying to reinsert Raylan in Justified, they should have just kept it as the book originally intended. And I'm not always against that idea. It's just that it just didn't work. So, I mean, I'm not going to go off on a tangent on that. So that was interesting. And it was kind of hard because me and Chris, or Blue Collar, both have Hulu, and we have to catch it at like 3 in the mornings, and then we wind up doing it at like 6 or 7 in the morning or some crazy shit.
And we're like all weekly episodes.
Yeah, because it was weekly. Yeah, and me and him both work crazy hours, so we're catching just a couple hours of sleep, and then we're redoing it. And Blue Collar, he always likes to come off as this aw shucks. All right, buddy, we're waiting on you.
Blue Collar's on his way.
He must have heard me talking about him. Blue Collar likes to come off as this like aw shucks, kind of self-deprecating kind of guy, but he actually has almost like an eidetic memory when it comes to like what happens on TV shows and movies. You know what I mean? Like he can watch something and then like verbatim start quoting it. and pull out like who was in it and who did what and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. So we'd talk about it and he'd bring up some interesting points. And then now we've been doing the Banshee thing, which is a lot more fun. And that's also pre-recorded stuff, which he's going to be inserting. He's going to be doing a little bit similar to like what you and Dark Hour do with your videos and stuff, where he has like inserted like little clips or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but not in the same way in which you do like your rewatches and stuff.
No.
So it should come out. That's taking a more technical stuff, and I feel bad because there's not really much I can add to except running my mouth.
No worries. But is the reason why? So the reason why you guys do the Justified stuff like pre-recorded is because of the hour you guys are doing it at?
Yeah, because we kind of wanted it fresh. It's over. It was a limited series of 8 episodes.
But next you're doing Banshee.
We're on like episode 4 of Banshee actually.
Nice.
We do Banshee every weekend. So yeah, it's been pretty interesting. A lot more fun. I have the HBO Max that has ads in it. So like we usually have to take a pause for the cause and talk about something for a minute or two.
Man, I don't know if it works for HBO, but it definitely works on my Hulu. But if you put AdBlock and uBlock Origin on your web browser, assuming you're watching it on a computer,
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I have an Amazon Fire Stick.
Yeah. It's hard to get ad blocks on those things.
Yeah, I was asking Stu Penzo about that as well. See if he could what he said could be achieved on that.
Is that what you use, Englishman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use Amazon Fire Stick. We do have an app that has pirated TV shows and that, but the TV shows are kind of shit. They keep the episodes are very inconsistent and they're all mixed up half the time. But
they're not super friendly either, are they? With the remote, you wind up like we had a technical difficulty where I accidentally shut up, Chris.
The old men and their fire sticks.
I accidentally skipped to the next episode when I was just trying to pause the show because the buttons are so small and I got these fat arthritic hands. So I accidentally like zipped ahead into that. I'm like, I thought I'd missed like 10 minutes of the show, but I had to go back and we fixed it. But yeah, it's not as user friendly as a computer, certainly. But you know, whatever. It's nice to have it on the TV though. It makes it really, really easy. You know what I mean? Like you pop it on your plasma screen and watching it. It makes it super easy. It's one of the first things I bought when I got out of prison.
I'm gonna get mother one. I'm gonna get mother one of those mini computers that I got Megan or helped her get. But like her iPad, she's watched stuff on our iPad all the time and cast it to the TV. But because it's an Apple, like none of her apps are working, and I'm like, what's going on here? And I look it up, and it's like, sorry, you need 10.5 version, and your damn iPad will only update to 10.2 or whatever.
Oh wow!
Literally, so you're basically your iPad is slowly turning into a useless brick, you know.
Yeah,
like, dude,
I feel you. I got
with
two
PCs.
I got two laptops and 2 phones on my desk. I'm sorry, I got 2 laptops and 2 phones on my desk right now, and one of the phones and one of the laptops are just basically like to watch stuff on. You know what I mean? Like whatever I've got stored on them, they're just expensive clocks.
This laptop that I use is only for like watching TV and doing my YouTube video stuff. I occasionally I'm forced to like do like work on it, but I don't like to do that. But it's funny because like what I was saying about fucking just now a minute ago about the fire sticks and laptops. Oh, mother getting one of these computers. Yeah, that's why I was saying I recommend PCs over iPads, because eventually an iPad will just like, it's a software issue. Sorry, not an iPad, just any Apple products. Eventually it's a software issue where you're no longer getting the up-to-date version and your programs start working, and it's a software thing. Whereas PCs, they tend to break due to hardware issues. Like they just run until they can't fucking physically run anymore. Like something breaks. And it's like, that's just so much better, you know? I'd rather run a computer into the ground versus like, hey, the people at Apple want you to buy another computer now. Sorry, it's been 2 limited years, and we're just gonna start breaking your shit up. Sorry, that's just how.
Yeah, I saw a YouTube video about that one time where they were talking. They explained like what Apple does and how their updates basically rip the shit out of your old stuff to make you buy new equipment.
And if you try to modify it or jailbreak it or put your own kind of operating system on this hardware, we will sue you. We can literally fucking arrest you or some shit. It's
Oh,
like,
wow.
what? They can literally like fine you and stuff. And that's why you have to take them to the Apple stores to fix them. You know, like the back of
wow.
the back of your computer or the back of your Android phone, even there's ways to take your Android phone apart and pull it apart. Your laptop, there's screws on the back of it. You just pull it upside down, take the screws out, take your battery out, whatever you need to do. Fucking Apple products are made as one solid piece. They must be taken apart with like special tools, with like, you know, insane precision. Only these certain assholes can do it. And it's like, even if you buy the tools and figure out how to do it, there's a guy on YouTube who they shut his channel down because he was teaching people how to repair their own Apple devices.
Yeah, jailbreaking them, like you said.
Literally evil. You know,
Yeah, that's wrong. That's wrong. I mean, people fixing their own fucking stuff.
Yeah.
And banning them for it. Come on.
That's one of the best things about PCs is like customizing your shit. Like, oh yeah, I took this hard drive out, replaced it with this big mega drive, and you know, all these neon lights and processors and stuff, and cool, you know, graphics cards. It's like
when I think about my old desk at Nationwide when I used to do insurance investigation, and how I used to have that 3-screen bullshit and like drag stuff from one screen to another and simultaneously be talking to a client or whatever while I'm doing up a report on another screen. Man, at the end of the day, I couldn't even conceive of doing a YouTube video or shit, even watch. Like at the end of the day, I just wanted to like stick my head in an ice bucket and then just start getting smashed. Because my eyes and like brain were sludge from looking at computer screens all day long.
But you know, speaking of that, it's like I did you like that business card's okay, right? I was gonna
yes. Big shout out to Enzo. No, it looks great, bro. I've already posted it on my page. So I've started a new
business. A watermark? Does it have a watermark? Does it have a watermark?
Oh,
it does not have a watermark. No, it does not have a watermark. Patrick Bateman, you sick fuck.
Yeah.
I love that film. I love it.
But you know, that's funny when you said it. It came out. You have a watermark.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It took me a minute. It's okay.
No, it looks great. It looks so good.
Cool.
You got a clip of it. Can you put it on the screen?
No, I don't want to dox your fucking phone number and email and shit. But
I don't
also,
care. Good. What are you talking about? What, for the 2 people that are watching? Hell yeah, put it up there. I'm advertising a business, baby.
Oh yeah.
Put it up there.
Okay.
I don't care.
Cool. That's a good point.
Enzo is like secret. See, this is the thing. I surround myself with people that are smarter and more talented than I. I'm basically only good at like shooting people and being a heavy and running my mouth. But I know people like Dark Hour, Stupenzo, and Blue Collar who all have and Tyler who all have this technical knowledge that I could never aspire to. So when I have a problem and I need something done, I call them. There's also a guy named Kyle that works out here. He's a buddy of mine, and he does all my hardware stuff. Like he did the locking mechanism for my door, and you know, helped me fix one of the exterior lights in my office and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I started my own company out here. So
well, the reason why, see, this is why I'm going to hold it like this. I know people already, if anyone really hates you, you got your phone number and your fucking email right there. Jesus. And I know that's kind of,
the hatred group is growing. Yeah. The hatred group is growing exponentially by the day. Yeah.
I'm going to share this video. Someone shares this video in that group. This fucking idiot dox the guy. Here he is. Now, something I did want to ask you, first of all, something I did do originally was I thought it looked slicker without the stroke. So I might send that to you also, but it did affect the readability a tiny bit, but it looked cooler.
I mean, this is going to look great for a business card. It's going to go on my door. It's already on my Facebook page.
Right. Well, I'll send you it without the stroke to see if you like it. But also, I wanted to ask, what is this first word? I don't see it. I mean, I didn't want to ask.
Does anybody want to pop off with what that word means? Maybe.
How do you pronounce it?
Aegis.
Aegis. Okay.
Aegis.
I've never heard it.
Nobody? Oh, wow.
No.
With a bunch of heathens. See, I
never bothered to look it up. I never bothered to look it up either.
I just sat there and blew all you guys' heads up for a couple minutes, telling you how much smarter you are than me, and you don't even know what the word Aegis is. Aegis is a ancient word for protection.
Oh, well, it's an ancient word, so I mean, I can't fault me for you guys aren't studying up on your Latin.
You
Wow.
you heathens,
Yeah.
you not know Latin. We'll have
No,
to
but it's a
remedy
cool
that.
word. It's a cool word. I like that. Protection, cool. Yeah, I like throw it in the thesaurus. So hell yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
yes,
like with my novels, how like my novels slapdash, I like to come up with words that are, they're not gobbledygook per se, but they're, not in common usage. So you'd have to actually kind of think about them, but they apply to what it is that you're doing.
I get pretty upset with some of thesaurus.com's results. There are some other websites that have a lot better synonym selections. I've noticed when I go to thesaurus or one of these other bigger sites, I'm like, this is pretty mid. These are pretty obvious and simple and stupid words, and a lot of them are not, accurate. So I don't know. Anyway,
that's interesting.
I can't remember which one was the one that was working best, but I want various, I want lots of different synonyms for lots of different definitions of the word.
We actually had an argument in the group the other day when I did my question of the day, and I asked.
You had an argument in the group?
I know. Shocker.
Which one are you talking? Be more specific.
I did 2 posts basically just to weed out all the trolls, and one was my question of the day because I was covering for Derek because he's doing army shit, paratrooper stuff, and I said, which actress do you find the most deplorable?
Hey,
and then everybody started wetting their pants over the word deplorable. And, they're like, and when I put in the definition, actually, that's not the common usage of the word deplorable. I'm like, dude, when you Google something, the first result is likely going to be the correct result. I mean, you can Google stuff until you're completely right. You know what I mean?
No better than Hillary Clinton describing these people as deplorables.
Deplorables.
How are you, Blue?
It's blue collar.
I feel bad for Smash Mouth because he had liver problems. So
yeah, we were talking about the irony that Jimmy Buffett
drinks in the memory of a guy who died of liver.
Oh, yeah. You think Jimmy Buffett and his fans would be the ones with liver problems, but no, it's the Smash Mouth.
I gotta say that because Wes can attest to this. We can't talk too much, but what a great Labor Day where I just watched Denzel brutally kill people.
Also, you just saw it for the second time, third time.
Yeah, I had to see it one more time because and Wes can attest to that. We had to see it one more time.
It's definitely a 2 watch. It's definitely a 2 watcher.
That's the other thing is one of these reasons why I wouldn't want to do like reactionary reviews of new movies is because really like Uninspired said this last week and I agreed with him totally. He says, I don't like to do reviews of movies unless I've seen them twice. And it's like, yeah, because like the second viewing can like totally change your opinion on a movie.
Agreed.
So what are your thoughts now on Equalizer 3?
Something I'll say in my review, and I know Wes can attest to this, is that I actually was timing on my phone that Equalizer, I love John Wick for what it is, but we know John Wick for 5 minutes of talking, 15 minutes of action, 5 minutes of talking, 15 minutes of action. Equalizer, you get a 45-second action scene, an hour of talking. Then you get a 45-second action scene, about half hour talking, but the film has 3 action scenes. So you can't go into Equalizer expecting John Wick or Fast and Furious. It has three fight scenes, and you have to understand that going in. So
I'd rather have brutal, like a pretty tame movie, and then like one like shocking violent scene that is like more violent than anything you've ever seen. Like The Talented Mr. Ripley is a good example. Like there's no like action or violence, but dude, when he kills Jude Law, that's like to this day, like how the fuck did they do that? Those are some great effects. His like whole face is like gushing blood. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
So I like that kind of stuff. Slow burns, I love them.
That's what is Equalizer. So I wouldn't say, to me it's different because I know what I am and stuff. I can watch endless action for an hour and a half because it's like that. But also I do respect that slow burns too. And this is a slow burn where I would even dare say that when the whole hour there's no action going on, you're so invested to Denzel, these characters in Italy, and this guy named Enzo. Every time he kept saying Enzo.
Hell yeah. Describe this man.
Enzo gets a shout out.
He's an older gentleman. He's a kind person.
Does he live?
I mean, well, that's
spoilers.
Does he die?
Spoilers.
Does he die graphically on camera? That's what I want. I hope he dies.
Yeah.
No?
No,
he does. Cool.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, damn.
Nah.
It's like there can only be one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I always joke about how if I was ever in a movie, it's like, please, like I would love to just play like the guy in the cafe who stands up and gets shot immediately and
Yeah.
doesn't have any lines. Like, oh, that'd be such a great like job. Just put squibs on me in a different movie
Yeah.
every time and just like fucking have me get gunned down, you know? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But Enzo, there's other famous Enzos, but not many. There's Enzo from Reboot. There's Enzo the Baker
yeah.
from The Godfather. There's that one time that Eric Stoltz calls Vincent Vincenzo in Pulp Fiction. There's
didn't think of
Enzo
that
from
one.
The Big Blue. Enzo from The Big Blue. But yeah, I mean, not a lot. So anytime I'll take what I can get. My favorite is Ron Jeremy as Enzo in Boondock Saints. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, another reminder that today dropped the trailer for Godzilla -1, which technically is an American
watched it.
film.
I just watched it.
But besides that, there was literally the trailers. There's nothing coming out until 2024 that I want to see. Like, I only want to see the Marvels just so I can shit on it and hopefully get 1,000 views.
What
That's
about
it.
Expendable? You don't want to go see Expendables?
I keep because they didn't show. You're right. They didn't show the trailers. Expendables. All right.
Yeah,
But
a lot of stuff is getting delayed. We'll get into that in a minute. I got a huge list, but as far as like what's coming out this year, I don't know. Everyone was excited about Dune. I honestly believe Dune was calculated to be pushed back on purpose just so they can have some kind of money for 2024. Because 2024 is looking pretty dismal. Because I bet you these idiots that are striking right now, they don't even realize they're like the fucking nail in the coffin right now. You know, they don't. They don't even realize the damage they're doing right now. This is like the worst possible time to strike.
No, yeah, you're right. Especially if we have another lockdown.
That's what I think about. This is something a huge thing I wanted to talk about today. But I guess I'll get. I'll try to talk about it later because I was supposed to shout out Megan when she wants to come in here. She doesn't want to talk about any of this nerd shit like Equalizer. Or this as heels versus babyface crap. So,
oh my god, you seen that?
I want to talk about the strike and some other interesting things. So I'll call Megan when it's appropriate. But it's coming. But I mean, I really want to talk about the Strike Force 5, the fucking John Oliver thing. Oh my god, the Jimmy Kimmel podcast. It is atrocious. Something I did want to talk about though. A couple shout outs here. Russ has his funny Ray Skywalker video.
Yeah,
that's the other thing is everyone's starting to pivot to older stuff. Let's do these retrospective videos. We don't want to talk about any of these new videos, but Russ asked me to make this for him, this Mount Rushmore of strong female power characters, and I'm proud of it.
Who's the one? Who is on the far right?
It's Flo from Progressive.
Oh, okay.
He always works her in. Apparently, she's a recurring joke.
I love that for him.
He's got a crush on Flo.
That for him. We were talking about the other commercial girl who has the huge knockers. What was her name?
Her real name or her name on the commercials?
Is she for Progressive?
AT&T.
AT&T. Yeah, that's just the AT&T girl. We don't need to name her name. I mean, shit. But just name it just so I can look it up later.
Her name on AT&T. Her name on AT&T is she's Lily.
Okay,
the
that's all.
AT&T girl.
Here's something else I shared with the.
She has a very interesting. She has a very interesting. I did a deep dive on her. She's She has a very interesting background.
She got like a Wikipedia early life type thing going on.
Big time.
Oh,
yeah.
Weird.
But I mean, if you want to save that for another time, then
we'll do a whole early live stream. That'll be when I decide to leave YouTube. Whenever I decide to leave YouTube permanently, we'll send off with an early live stream.
But just so you know, her name is actually, I'm gonna butcher this, so forgive me, my Slavic
We looked her
friends.
up one time on one of these streams. I remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember the name.
Miliana Alexandrovadova Vantrub.
All right.
She's from Soviet. She is from Soviet Union.
Now, this is something else I wanted to show y'all. Now, hopefully there's no audio. Should be muted. But me and Meg were looking for a birthday movie to watch, and we're on one of these websites, and there was some garbage movie called Happy Birthday. And I was like, how appropriate. And I just clicked play, right? And obviously you want to give it a test. It looks pretty low budget. So you just skip to like some 20-minute mark part of the movie.
Why do I feel like it's a slasher flick for some reason?
This is some kind of low budget, awful horror slasher film of some kind, but I'm just going to give you a taste of how terrible it was. I didn't watch it, obviously. I skipped to some random part 20 minutes in just to get a taste of it. And this is what I saw, like just clicking at a random part first time. Look at this this driving screen projection effect. This is the worst I've ever seen. Now, it looks pretty bad for him, obviously, but when it cuts to her, like, what is this? And the light on her face doesn't even move. It's like totally static. And the frame is like shocking. It was so bad that I wanted to watch it, but obviously Megan insisted we didn't. And we watched The Passenger instead, which was very, very good. I liked it. But yeah, bizarre. Happy birthday. Someone want to check this out and tell me if it's how bad it is? That'd be appreciated.
Oh boy.
What streaming services does it fall on?
I don't know. It was on the pirate 7 Seas. One of these 7 Seas websites.
Okay.
I assume it's a fucking it was some kind of like a generic like True Line Cinema presents, some nonsense. Some knockoff movie, I don't know how these production companies still exist. And they all seem like money laundering or something.
I mean, they're definitely money laundering. There's definitely some money laundering going on for sure. For sure.
Or it's like some kind of shell company for the streaming services. Because in the old days, video stores were buying these stupid movies and people were renting them based on the cover.
Yeah.
I assume it's like that for streaming, but it can't make as much money.
Since we are doing belated birthdays, can we just say a belated birthday to that walking smoke show that is Salma Hayek?
Oh my God.
And remind everybody that she's almost 60. Almost 60. Englishman. Are you with me?
Care. I don't care, mate. She's still fucking good. Even today, man. Desperado was like, what, nearly 30 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking hell, man.
From dusk till dawn.
I know.
Surely there's let's just go to celebrate her birthday by looking at Google Images. That's
in
yeah,
Hitman's Bodyguard, the sequel, she's fantastic in that, and her chest is even bigger. I don't know how, but
well, here's the thing: Salma Hayek's smart. She married a billionaire, but she knows that this fucking billionaire could be done with her at any moment.
Yeah,
and get a new pretty wife. She has to compete. She has to be like an alpha female. She has to be the hottest bitch, and she's also Mexican. I mean, they have the fountain of youth. These Hispanic
I also
girls,
feel like I kind of feel like I might be full of shit here, but I really feel like Salma Hayek's probably, I think she's probably a pretty chill, fun person. From when I've seen her on interviews, she always seems pretty cool to me. I don't know. I
mean, she's married to a billionaire, bro. It kind of chills you out, kind of mellows you out when you have fucking you and your next 10 generations have security.
Yeah, well, definitely you have the hot chick curse that a lot of hot chicks are full of themselves, and Selma seems like you could walk up to her and give her a hug. She just seems like that.
Enzo, we have a question from the princess of toxicity.
She's talking about what was I? Happy birthday. I don't know. Happy Death Day. It looked like a generic Lifetime movie style slasher film. It was unbelievable. It's some girl's birthday and people are dying. Oh my God. I don't know. But like I said, we did watch The Passenger and that was cool. This kid works at a burger joint. And one of his coworkers goes on a killing spree, kills all the coworkers and the boss, and then kidnaps him. And they go on some kind of like joyride / amend for your past mistakes type adventure.
Okay,
it's pretty cool, very vague, kind of violent.
In most relationships have the one person's taste and then the other person's taste. One of my favorite things when I worked at a movie theater was figuring out who had picked the movie. Like you'd see a guy walk up with his girlfriend and he'd be like, "Hey man, can I get 2 for Armageddon?" I'm like, "Yeah, here you go." And she's just making this pensive face.
Yeah.
And then another time, you see the guy come up. He's like, "Hi, can we get 2 for the new Sandra Bullock film?" I'm like, "Which one?" He's like, "I don't know, Poop Floats or whatever." I'm like, "Oh, Hope Floats? Yeah."
That's a Forrest Whitaker film. Forrest Whitaker directed that movie. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I do like Harry Connick Jr.
My question to you, Enzo, let's get Enzo in a little bit of trouble here later if Meg rewatches that. So what do you guys do? What's the compromise for you guys? Because I kind of know your taste. What is hers?
Well,
and where
it
do you guys
depends
compromise
on,
at?
Here's the thing. When Megan gets to pick something, and she'll be here in a little bit. She can ask her. But yeah, Megan tends to pick, she loves garbage TV. We watched a lot of 90 Day. We watch a lot of, we watched that weird MILF Manor. Loved it. She did try to get me to watch The Great. I watched the first season and we tried watching the second season. We kept falling asleep. There's apparently a third season. I just found it very foppish and a little I don't know. I was still had no problem watching it. When Megan wants to watch something, I'm down for whatever. But the problem is when Meg wants to watch something, it's usually like 12 hours long and we keep falling asleep like every 30, 40 minutes. So it's rough. When I want to watch something, it's usually something stupid and obnoxious.
Shocking.
But every once in a while, I will try to like find a cool movie that she might like. She did like The Passenger a lot. I tried to get her to watch this movie called Past Lives, but it's Korean. It's got subtitles, so she didn't check it out. But I watched it last night, and it was good. It was not as great as people were saying it was. I was kind of let down with it.
Well, I've watched a couple of you guys' rewatches, and that's usually funny. You guys' reactions to stuff. And I know for a fact that she hated The Hunted, one of my favorite movies that you watched, and decided not to ask me to watch with you for whatever reason. So I'm always curious about like couples and what couples will like and
well,
watch.
with the we watches, I try to. I'm learning her taste. She'll tell you this herself. She hates Muppets. She doesn't like anything with like Muppet type characters. She doesn't like anything with what else? She's got a few. I mean, she obviously doesn't like graphic, disgusting horror movies and shit like that too much. But she does love her true crime shows like every other
female. It's
female.
Embedded in their DNA. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? What about you, Tyler? What do you and your significant other agree to disagree to watch on?
I mean, I'd have to have one in order to answer that question.
Fair enough.
So,
fair enough.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me how miserable and lonely I am. But anyways,
I will admit that I am one of these remote hogs. I mean, I hate to say
you are
it,
a man.
Notice the complete absence of guests there.
Yeah, I share. I try to get input. I usually ask Megan, "What do you want to watch?" Like tonally, like what are you in the mood for? And I will try to find something that will, tailor. Because I'm down for whatever. I really am down. I like shitty movies. I like good movies. I just like short stuff. That's the problem.
Yeah, I have found with women is especially the ones you're in a relationship with. Notice I actually do know more about Chris's life, so I didn't ask him what he and his girlfriend watch, and I didn't bother asking you, Northern English bastard, because I figure, you being British, you keep your women in line over there, so she watches whatever the hell you tell her to.
Yeah. Actually, my wife she's actually got some good taste. When we have movie night, we have like one go. I have mine, she has hers, and some of the movies she's put on: Demolition Man, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Cool.
Occasionally, she will put on some a bit more chick flick. Like last Saturday was Wild Child and She's the Band. Little chick stuff, but.
See, I would be down with that kind. I would be down with that kind of system where it's like I pick a movie, you pick a movie. But this whole I pick a movie, you pick a show, I don't like it. And it's like, well, you can pick a show. It's like that'll take us 2 months to watch 2 shows. You understand? Like what?
Yeah. The only thing that she's not as keen as I am is the old World War II movies. From like 50s, 40s, whatever.
She likes those, or she doesn't like them.
No, not as much as I do.
No. Men like war movies. Yeah, I think most women don't like war movies.
Yeah,
unless they're like sad war movies about like the woman and the husband going off to war. I don't know. Like Hacksaw Ridge was funny because like
chicks like Hacksaw Ridge.
It's
really
the
like
first
Hacksaw
half
Ridge.
of it is literally like, and I watched a lot of them, so I can tell you it is like a Lifetime or a Hallmark movie.
Yeah,
or a Christian one of these Christian independent films. It has this like hokiness that is so like bizarre. But then when like the ball numbing violence happens in the second half, you're like, oh, I guess it kind of like balances out. I think they did that on purpose to like lure the girls in, this is a good family film. And then that way, when the violence happens, like you're kind of like, I don't know. It's already like, it's already been sweet to you earlier, the film.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. That bit where he's just constantly rescuing someone, saying "Please, Lord, one more." I'm not gonna lie. It does choke me up a bit every time I watch it.
He really said that too.
Yeah, no, I saw like there was more stuff as well that they didn't put in the film that did happen, but they thought it would look fucking ridiculous on film, so they left it out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I was always surprised. My ex-wife liked a lot more stuff than I ever anticipated. I'm a big go to the movies by yourself kind of guy, and my ex-wife I'd go see something. She'd go, "What did you go watch?" And I'd tell her, she's like, "Oh, I wanted to see that." And I'm like, "Oh, well, we can go see it again, but I don't think you're gonna like it." And then we'd go, and then she'd be really into it. Like I never thought she would in a minute would she like the Kill Bill movies.
Yeah.
And she freaking loved the Kill Bill movies, man. I was really shocked at that.
I don't know any. Sorry, I don't know any. Sorry, I don't know any lass that doesn't like Kill Bill. I don't think I've ever met a lass that doesn't like Kill Bill.
Okay, nowadays I could see that, but you got to remember that's 20 years ago. I didn't think she'd be into a movie with kung fu, anime, the usual feet fetish, freaking Quentin Tarantino porn.
Yeah, we draw the line at that.
You know, I just didn't think, and the way that Tarantino does a lot of his shot out of sequence narrative, I just didn't see her liking that. But yeah, we went back and watched it, and it became one of her favorite films. So.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, with my my kind of quasi girlfriend, I give her credit that this year, every film I took her to see, like from John Wick to Fast and Furious, she actually had a great time. And I was like, honey, I have voodoo and stuff in a lot of movies, back movies, stuff you never heard of. She sat down with me. I didn't think she'd watch it. She watched Fury, and she fucking loved Fury. And I'm like, I was shocked that
chicks like Fury. Chicks
That's
like that
awesome
movie.
film.
Chicks do like that movie.
So I give her credit. She does. She did like a lot of the same films. Even like J Law, No Hard Feelings. That was fucking funny.
That was a good movie. That was a good.
Cassidy
movie.
Klein, Mom is listening too, and she said that right before you said it too.
Oh yeah. My ex and my daughter are coming out here to see the new Office, and we're gonna go shopping and go see The Goonies in the theater. Sorry, I don't mean to push this stream forward, but
we can talk about that.
You know how they're re-releasing the older movies, so we're gonna all go see The Goonies.
Well, something I wanted to mention about that was you were talking about Christine and They Live, and it's like I looked it up, and it's like, oh, these are all these are all Fathom Events things, and it's like, oh, Fathom Events has always been a thing, but I think it's like,
what does that mean? What's Fathom Events? I don't know what that means. So
Fathom Events is like, for instance, whenever I go see these Riff Tracks lives or things like that, special concert, things like that, or old screenings of old movies, it's usually brought to you by Fathom Events. Or something like that. There's a couple other production companies that do that, but what they'll do is for one showing of one theater on one Tuesday or a Wednesday, they will show. In my case, I'll go see the Riff Tracks lives. Like they'll broadcast one of the Riff Tracks movies, and they'll show it live. But yeah, these old movies. I think what happens is during these strikes that we just kind of start noticing these Fathom Events more. Like, oh, Christine.
You could be right. You could be right.
And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they also step it up more. But like, the strike's going to be bad when they start doing these Fathom Event type things, or it'll probably be like brought to you by the theater themselves. But like, they'll start reserving the weekends because the idea is Fathom Events can only do. I think they can't do Mondays for a specific reason, if I'm not mistaken. But obviously, like Sunday through Thursdays are like no way. So usually Fathom Events are on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, or most of these special screenings. Like anytime you want to rent a theater out, you can't really do it on Fridays. It doesn't matter what time, doesn't matter when. Those are their big days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Fuck you. They're literally legally obligated to cater to the movie theater, the production companies. So your special screening will have to be on a Tuesday, but it's going to be bad when the special screenings start happening on Thursdays or Fridays or Saturdays. That's if the strike, obliterates Hollywood and we don't see a movie for another year.
I don't think it's going to obliterate Hollywood, but I definitely think, like you said, I agree with you, Enzo. It's definitely poor timing on their part. And I definitely think that we're going to see a more of a resurgence of this. I didn't know that's what it was called. I didn't know it was called Fathom Events. But I just I don't have the same app that Blue Collar has. I don't have that all-inclusive app that you have, Chris, but I do have the Regal
it's
app.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised if your app does not cover Fathom events.
Actually, I was going to say that's one thing. Like right now, Goonies, my app covers, but Fathom events, like They Live was covered. It wasn't Fathom
Yeah.
events. I like Fathom events, but like Enter the Dragon came out, and look, guys, I get it and stuff, but I'm not going to go spend $45 to see Enter the Dragon with my kid.
Yeah, because it's probably overpriced because it's limited selection sometimes.
Like I said, I wouldn't care if they said charging $10, but like for me, my son to go Enter the Dragon after whatever taxes and stuff fees, it's 42 fucking dollars. Like
Okay.
Jurassic Park 30th anniversary, the Goonies, that's all covered by the Regal app. I have no problem get my kid a ticket, but not like if it's not going to cover, I'm not paying $25 fucking dollars for a ticket, guys. Come on.
So Goonies and stuff is not Fathom events. Do you think that's the
No,
theater itself, AMC?
I checked, yeah, like for me, this is Goonies right here, and I can get a ticket and stuff. I can click on it. I can get like there's a showing tonight, 7:00, and it's already covered by my app. So I would go see the Goonies tonight and pay nothing for it, or Jurassic Park.
Is it Fathom though?
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's
It just says WB 100. That's all it says on it. So,
okay.
So
some kind of 100
out of curiosity, for our two other co-hosts that are living in other countries, do they have this stuff over where you guys are at, or is this not even a thing? You guys are shaking your head in pure septic.
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now, oddly enough, because the theaters that are closest to my house, the one that's super close is like not buying into any of this shit and is just playing whatever is current at this point.
Okay.
I think tomorrow, one that's like out farther away and one that I never have good experiences at because the audiences in that area are just fucking idiots.
Yeah.
There's like one screening of Jurassic Park for its 30th anniversary, and it's at 3:00. And because it's the first day of school, they're pivoting that like at the moment where like people are just getting off of work and getting off of school, which is just, I find it kind of cheap and manipulative. I'm looking at like a theater chain in Canada that I'm not a big fan of, and let's see, I missed Goonies by a few days ago.
Oh, that's a shame.
While I'm on vacation in Toronto, I might be able to catch True Romance next Wednesday. Possibility.
Yeah, good one. Good one.
The eggplant scene.
And what
another Vincenzo. Oh, there you go. There's another Enzo in a movie.
But like what I'm noticing more and more is that whenever they're re-releasing older stuff, it's not even a week long. The dates are extremely scattered out into days where like nobody would be available by any stretch of the imagination to go and see it. Like Wednesday on a work day, who the fuck is going to show up for Spirited Away? Nobody.
Dude, you'd be surprised how many nerds would show up to those Riff Track screenings, man.
I know, but like this is something a little bit, well, I mean, Riff Track screenings have a little bit more of a following that's been built up for longer.
For sure. Yeah, that's a lot of people nowadays are like, why would I see the Goonies if I can just stream it on my huge TV?
Because it's in the movie theater. Because it's in the theater.
But in 20 years ago, like your home entertainment system had fucking very rarely was comparable to a theater. And obviously seeing a movie in a theater with an audience, that's a big thing. I mean, that's the part of the huge appeal.
As long
as
respectable. As long as the audience is on the same page with you, it's not that big a deal. In fact, I'm glad Wes brought up the Goonies because that was actually the first movie I saw coming out of the lockdown in a theater. It was
Ruffle Shuffle,
Empire Strikes Back. My sister and I saw a couple Harry Potter movies that were out. Like I specifically bought tickets for her for Prisoner of Azkaban because that's always been our favorite. But and that's the thing. It was during the pandemic specifically that older movies were released on a more consistent basis. They were more accessible to audiences everywhere. And I mean, the obvious answer to that is because we had nothing better to do. Movies were still in the process of getting made and such like that, but we're at that stage already with the strike. And I know movie theater chains have an obligation to put out the newest stuff because technically that is going to drive forward the most amount of revenue. But I'm also kind of wondering if distributors are just afraid of competition of older stuff. Because when you look at how long something like Elementals has this exact week compared to what, say, Spirited Away would have in 3 days, it's no contest. People would go and see Elementals win in an instant, even though, is it a success? People keep fighting back and forth over that one.
Like, think about how much.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I
box
bet you
office
theaters
stars.
can. I bet you a theater can kind of stay afloat easier. Like, it's to the point because remember in comic books, like what happened was all the new shit sucked, and it's been that way since like 2013, and 2016 is where it started hitting like critical mass, and that's when we started. The comic book stores had to heavily pivot to older issues, back issues, and rare issues, collectibles, and fucking Funko Pops and figures and things like that. The actual current top 2 comic books aren't doing it, keeping comic books afloat, comic book stores afloat. So I think what's going to happen with theaters is similar, where it's like they're going to at some point, and I think it's already past that point, where these new movies, us putting all of our eggs in one basket and relying on movies from the big production companies that are distributing to us, I don't think that's going to work anymore. I think if we'll make more money if we just pay for the rights to release theaters, these older classic movies, because you don't have to pay for a movie to be made. But the production companies are greedy, so they'll overcharge to make you be able to play the Goonies and Christine to stay afloat. I think that's what's fucked up.
Well, I mean, what you just said, I really do hope is going to happen sooner or later. I mean, that was one of the reasons when Disney announced their 100 Years of Wonder, I got excited at the prospect of seeing, Curse of the Black Pearl or The Incredibles or something that I missed a few years ago. Like after Incredibles and Beauty and the Beast, fucking Coco was going to be next. And like, I haven't seen Coco, and everybody goes nuts when I say that because people fucking love it. But here's the problem, though. I would have to get Josh to drive me an hour and a half towards a theater that is actually playing this shit. What I don't understand is what Disney and Pixar have movies out right now. So one would think that like pushing these into like as many cities as you possibly can would rev up more revenue and would get people reinvigorated with Disney. But like the most I've seen advertised lately isn't even Disney movies. It's the fucking immersive experience in Toronto or London, Ontario. And I'm just sitting there going, so you guys would rather have Elementals. You would rather, I'm not kidding when I say this, they actually put out the Little Mermaid remake for like a week or two in this period of time. Wow. And I'm just sitting there going, you guys have such a fucking ego and such... You got bigger balls.
They're just disconnected from their audience, aren't they? They don't even understand their own audience anymore, I think.
Which is what I don't. I don't get it. Yes, Enzo, he's very cute. If my dog wasn't inside and could actually see 2 feet in front of him, I'd probably bring my dog out too.
I did look up to about Tyler. So this was the thing with Elemental. Everyone was ragging on it because it did have a very shitty opening. Like it was like the second worst in history. But it did have legs. So the budget was $200 million. It did pass the $400 million mark, which again, that depends on how you look at it. So it's like, it's not totally a fucking flop, but it's also not like a major success neither. Because again, $400 million on a $200 million budget and top of marketing and shit. So it's not, it's not doing good, but it's not a total bomb neither. It's really middle.
I mean, if they make it back on streaming and see, that's the thing. And the Drinker broke this down in one of his videos where he explained how that stuff works. Back in the day, you could count on something, it could be a flop in the theater and then kick ass on VHS or DVD.
Which is what Matt Damon talked about that with The Last Duel when he was on Hot Ones, how streaming just basically killed those prospects. And I guess that was his justification as to why mid-budget movies like the 50 million, the 30 millions don't get made anymore, which I still find very strange. But see, the reason this popped up into my head yesterday, out of complete boredom, I rewatched Hunchback of Notre Dame on Disney Plus, and it looks fucking amazing on Disney Plus. Like everything is super clear, it is fluid, and I'm just sitting there going, why wasn't this like part of 100 Years of Wonder? Like, I'm genuinely curious because, again, Hunchback did not do
because it makes fun of the disabled, bro.
No, believe me, it makes fun of the church more than.
And doesn't it take place during like the Spanish Inquisition or some crazy shit?
Yeah, but
Notre Dame is French, so no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
no one
during
expects the Spanish Inquisition.
But didn't the Spanish Inquisition like spread to France? There's your remake. Do the remake of
you know what? It pisses me off. I keep hearing that they are going to remake Hunchback, which
Oh yeah,
I don't
of
know.
course.
I don't know
Like
how
Martel.
you. I don't know how you could do that. Not because.
We
Wow,
gotta find a
that's
real
easy.
hunchback actor.
It's
No,
been made. It's
no,
been made
they'll-
as a look. It's been made as a stage musical, like the exact Disney movie, except they took the ending of the book and threw it in there, which I don't think was a smart decision. I'm in the minority of saying my Hunchback of Notre Dame. Out of all the abridged Disney adaptations, it's the one that makes sense because
Yeah.
I don't think it's a very good book.
Megan's here.
Oh boy, the estrogen
guys.
level just jacked
Hello.
up in the stream.
Oh, jeez.
Well, that
Jack.
takes a weight off
From
my
zero?
shoulders anyway.
Estrogen Jack sounds like a really cool superhero for today's modern audiences.
Estrogen Jack.
That'd be a good side in the future where all men have titties.
In a world full of toxic masculinity.
In a world where
Estrogen-
all
estrogen
gender is
Jack.
fluid.
I just
Estrogen
picture Seth Rogen, and this is the end. Going, those guys used to titty fuck me.
God,
I just
yeah.
saw a meme that made my day. It said, "Why do we call it boob sweat instead of humidities?"
Yes, I saw that
Wow.
too. I saw
Oh,
that
yeah.
too. I'm calling it that from now on, actually.
Me and
So, yeah.
Megan saw a very
Humidity
interesting
titties.
purse out on downtown last night and or last afternoon, and the woman took the purse off and showed it to us, and she was looking at it, and she had like two perfect little orbs of titty sweat on her dress, and it was very distracting and weird. And apparently,
I also
that's
said,
a
"I'm
common
looking at your
thing.
purse, not staring at your boobs." And she was like, "Well, they
Oh,
are
I didn't even notice that.
flawless."
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and they were.
Well,
She wasn't lying.
I had a pretty good idea listening to you guys talk about this, and I want to run by all of you, including Meg. But before I do, a quick tangent before we forget. I've seen all the Harry Potter movies, ironically, with Riff Tracks commentaries. I don't really like them, but I agree that Part 3, Prisoner of Azkaban, is leagues the best one. That's the one with the werewolf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that is the best one. In fact, if you are going to watch one, just watch that one. It's cool.
Nerds.
Yeah. Anyway,
Sorry.
here's an idea. Now, I'm sure, like I said, the production companies would be dicks with distribution rights, and they wouldn't allow it. But like, I'm not really saying, like, I don't know. It would take one or a handful of brave theaters to do this, or it would probably happen maybe out of essentialism. But like, maybe in the future, this is what the movie theater's like. You just kind of walk to the theater. I mean, you just kind of look at your phone and you have no idea what classic, awesome movies are playing today. And there's always like a cool movie playing in one of the screens in one of the hours. So every time you walk to the theater, what's playing right now? I don't know. Aliens at this time, or we could, what's playing right now? I don't know. A handful of weird movies, and in a couple hours, a handful of other strange, cool movies. I think maybe would that be that cool? Would that be a bad thing or a good
Alamo
thing?
already does that. Alamo
I was
already
gonna
has Terror Tuesdays, Weird Wednesdays. They
I was gonna
already
That's
say-
one specific time, one specific screening. I'm talking about. Imagine if that was the norm for the theater, like and the new upcoming big movie theaters from movies from the big movie distribution companies. Those are like the rarities that are released like one time on Friday or two, a couple times on Friday. I don't know.
One thing I know for sure is that sometimes I follow Brad Jones when he's at a character and just reviewing a movie as is. And there have been times when he's walked into, like, I think Regal calls them like special screenings or whatever fucking theater chain they have out in Springfield or whatever. And it was for newer stuff to like build up momentum as to what it could possibly be. Like he walked into one thinking he was going to get the Fablemans, and I think I'm trying to remember. It was either that Owen Wilson one, Paint, or that one where Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart are Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds are telling like a Christmas Carol over again or something like that.
Yeah.
Can't see either of those. Did anyone see Paint? It looked kind of interesting, but
I never
wanted
watched it.
to. Like
yeah, nobody.
I watch Bob Ross when I'm like about as buzzed up as Enzo probably is right now, and it's a good thing to really think.
But his name was like Carl Fungal or something. He wasn't like actually. That was a big turnoff. Was he's not actually Bob Ross?
So I saw the Film Threat review of it, and Chris Gore basically summed it up as it doesn't take place in the past, but the whole joke is that everything looks and feels as if it is, even though they're all carrying cell phones. Like, I don't know. Apparently,
Okay.
it's kind of a Wes Anderson or Richard Ayoade knockoff.
But he gets famous on TV.
Yeah.
See, this is stupid. Again, it's
Again, the fucking
why wouldn't he get famous on
novelty.
YouTube? Like he'd be a YouTube fucking painter, and he has like several 100 million subscribers, right?
I mean, I feel a little dirty knowing where Bob Ross's money actually went.
Where?
But no joke, like he did the PBS show for free. He made all of his money on like
Oh, yeah.
merchandise.
No, you know he made all his paintings in quadruplicates. So he did a practice painting, and then he did a live painting for the TV show, and then he did 2 copies to give one to the television station, and then a 4th copy to some charity or some Bob Ross.
Viewers
vault.
like
It would explain, yeah, it would definitely explain why he was so fast and productive every time he shot something. I always just assume that he shot at like a game show where he does like 4 paintings a day, comes back into the studio, another 4 paintings, and then after a week he just takes off.
But dude, yeah, you want to get good at painting, like paint something, now paint it again. It's like, holy shit, okay. Like, you know, that's how you know you get really good at painting, you know, when you can do this kind of like repeating, you know.
Yeah.
That's
Paint it again and
also
make
how
it
you
look
get-
just like the other one.
That's how you get good at killing people too. FYI, you guys know that.
Drink.
So you know, even if he was copying himself, the fact that that's still something that I could.
That wasn't a prison reference. What are you drinking for?
when you kill people, you go to prison. Also, I can drink if I just want to, but Enzo yelled drink, and I'm a follower.
Oh yeah. Hey,
I love that for you.
I didn't want to talk about too much. I didn't want to talk about a lot of nerd stuff with Meg, but she could actually have a good opinion on this because it's totally
I'm just
new
not
to her.
that much of a nerd, and I don't want to get in you guys' way and like junk up things I don't
This
know
is
what
good
I'm
because
talking about.
you have
I have
fresh
a
eyes
question.
on this.
I have a question for her too, but go ahead with
No.
yours.
No, you go ahead first because mine's going to be a whole like topic.
Of the resurgence of the movies coming back out, the older classic movies and stuff, are you excited for that, or does that do nothing for you?
Do you
Megan
mean
doesn't
like the
the
Disney
theater.
movies or like?
Well, so like just
Well,
in
Disney
this-
movies would have to come out to everybody, ironically.
Yeah. Nice.
No,
nice.
I'm not excited about modern remakes of anything.
No,
no.
old
It doesn't
movies.
even matter
Old
if
movies
it's-
being re-released in the theaters. Old movies that are good that you've seen before, like They Live and stuff like that.
Goonies, Christine, Rain Man, Exorcist, like that in the next month. Is
The
that any
theater
of that?
the
I
theater
did
that
not know all
Josh
those were coming out.
the theater that Josh works at is playing Rumblefish for 3 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah, apparently it's
Wow.
40. Apparently it's his 40th anniversary or something.
I want them to remake The Incredible Mr. Limpet, but with like really realistic underwater,
I would be here for it.
CGI. Yeah.
You know what's
Also,
you know
just
what's
like
weird?
modern. Make it take place during the Cuban Missile Crisis or something.
Yeah. I have a friend who's a big movie buff, and she and I were talking last week at the bar, and I asked her if she was excited. I asked her the same exact question I just asked Meg, and she gave the same exact answer. She's like, I don't like any remakes of films, and like when I told her I was going to see Goonies, she was like, they remade Goonies. What?
Yeah,
the
it just
fuck?
shows you that women don't listen. No, I'm just joking.
Well, it's kind of like, well, that's true. But it's kind of like how people, I know it sounds like a dumb hipster thing, but like sometimes vinyl really does sound better. So people collect this old obsolete technology because they like the way that it sounds, the way that it feels, the way,
I can get behind that.
And
Yeah.
so like, I have 4
Yeah.
giant boxes of VHS tapes and a VCR because I like the nostalgia of hitting the rewind button and watching it go.
Okay.
And like,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
grainy, it's crappy, it's not high resolution, but that's why you like it because it's,
Also,
Does anybody else?
it's
Does anybody
Go
else
ahead.
remember
My
when when the movies were too long and they had to give you two tapes and you'd have
Oh,
to
yeah.
stop it?
I've
You'd have to
never
pop
had-
in the second
What
tape.
were some of your favorite 2-tape movies? I mean, Schindler's List was a
Heat.
good one, but I mean, I didn't
Heat.
like watching it a lot. Heat was 2 tapes, and I think you could have fit it all on 1 tape if you wanted to.
I don't see how.
Uh,
Braveheart, Titanic.
Yep.
Made-
Forrest Gump
made it
was
Titanic.
not 2 tapes, but it was 2 CDs, so that was cool.
That's interesting.
Jesus, do you remember that movie Hackers? That had 4 CDs for the soundtrack.
I
dude.
just
Did they
why
really?
do people
Yeah.
like keep
Lot of
wanting to
techno.
remake things? Like
Because we're
why
creatively bankrupt. It's so much
Captain A.
easier to because here's the thing.
If you're an actor or a writer and you're given the opportunity to like do the version of like your favorite thing in the world, like that's the only passion that I could
I would-
come up with as to why they would want to do something like this. Like
I
Halle
would be way
Bailey.
too afraid to fuck it up.
Here's the thing. You have
Yeah,
to
but I
write a script.
mean,
You have to write a
there's still
full complete
something-
script in 9 months or
But there's
tops.
That's the
But there's-
longest.
But here's the thing: they grew up with that thing so much, they feel they've memorized it as much as we have, and that just gives them this level of confidence that, in their opinions, they either can't fuck it up or it's just something that, as long as they're happy with, they'd be satisfied. I mean, Halle Bailey watching The Little Mermaid endlessly as a kid, like that passion was there to begin with, and regardless of what you thought of her, like you can't say that she wasn't trying. She's not like Rachel Zegler, who I don't know, threw out her grandma's Snow White cassette halfway through.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that, but that was mostly because as a kid, Snow White bored me. But
Yeah,
I
Snow
listened
White was
to
like a feat. Snow White was like Star Wars for the 30s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
The open bar 2 weeks ago, I'm wanting to say, where when Zegler's comments were really getting some traction.
Yeah.
I was listening to that one, and I don't remember the name of the guest. I'll have to look up. I'm sorry, guys. He's one of the guests that's not on there normally, and he said that he kind of had the inside scoop on Zegler, and he just said that she's a nice enough person, but in her little enclosed circle, she has everybody telling her how she's so funny and so witty, and she always has that kind of smarmy snarkiness cranked up to 11. And so she doesn't know any better because she is so young. And
well, of course she doesn't know any better. She's a YouTuber who like struck it big with West Side Story, and all of a sudden, like everybody just worshipped her, and I think that just went to her head.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, about these modern remakes, the thing about it is like production companies, producers, they don't care about, there's no star power anymore. Now it's brand recognition, IP awareness. So it's like, okay,
That's
we
true.
can make a original movie or a movie that people recognize, whether it's a sequel or a reboot or a prequel or whatever. And then the other thing is like, yeah, we need this movie right now. And it's so much easier to write a script, to adapt a script than to start something from scratch. Because I mean, you got the characters all fleshed out in the source material. You've got the settings. You've got the world building pretty much done. Good scripts should take years to complete, not months. Unless you're adapting one. If you're adapting one, then you have an excuse.
I think I just heard you say that on another stream the other day. I was listening to you, and I think I just heard you say that. That sounds
something I said last week. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I said it last week because it's like something I'm kind of realizing. It's like
I don't disagree with you either.
By the way, this is good news. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm hoping it happens still. But I may be on Narwhal's channel, aka Plaster Harris, aka Pear Berg, the writer of the comic book Earthbound, a few other good stuff. He's worked with your boy Zach, Diversity Comics. Anyway, I might be on his stream in a week or two to talk about Lonesome Dove. I'm like, yes.
The TV show or the
probably the TV show and the book. But I was like, he was like, thoughts on Lonesome Dove. I need 4 panelists. He tagged Chuck Dixon in it, the Chuck Dixon.
Damn.
And I came out and I was like, I love Lonesome Dove. I've loved Lonesome Dove since high school. And he's like, cool, you can come on. I was like, I assume he checked out my channel. I hope he did.
Man, I would love for somebody to catch one of those clips from the early days when we were doing stuff with Dark Hour and them just go, oh, okay, so this dickhead's kind of like really into Jack Reacher. Let's pull him on so we can get his take on the Reacher stuff.
Yeah, he said he's putting them up there on whatever that live stream channel he has got going. I think it's just called the Uninspired Hour. All those streams.
Yeah, did you guys catch? Yeah, did you guys catch that the other day when he had the drinker on as his guest?
Oh, yeah, I listened to it last night.
Yeah, it was good.
It was really good. Yeah, it was good. I liked
Luke,
everything
you've been
that.
so quiet.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking off the top.
Megan, you've been quiet. I mean, yeah, there's 6 of us.
I may play like a half hour without saying a damn thing.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say to what Megan was saying. When it comes to like why do remakes forward, there is different factors, and in Rachel Zegler's case, it's because this movie or TV show or something is outdated, and they want to they feel like they can do it better than it was before. Also, number 2 is laziness, like Enzo said, because look at the Lion King live action CGI. I thought it was fucking dog shit. Shit did $1 billion.
Me too.
So from a studio executive,
yeah.
these guys who got tens of millions or big fucking mansions and all these cars, all they're doing is doing fucking lines of coke off hookers and stuff, thinking, I don't give a shit where the money comes from. Give me money. I don't give a fuck what you've ruined. I just want money, money,
Yeah.
money. And it is. It's just it's a greed thing. These guys don't care about fucking IP or integrity or artists, caring about something. It's just dollar signs.
Well,
My favorite book. Sorry, Tyler.
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I can't fully say that Disney remakes are completely soulless and that nobody cares. I mean, all my tattoos, well, they're from the same Disney remake, oddly enough, but probably because it was a cartoon show that got like tens of thousands of views. So in that case, Disney just let them do whatever the fuck they wanted, and thank God for that. I don't know. It's hard to describe. Like Disney used to re-release their stuff like every couple years
Yeah.
and such, and now
Yes.
that
They
like,
would
half
open the
those
vault. They
movies-
opened the vault, right? Isn't that what they
Yeah.
call it? Oh, we're going to open the vault and re-release whatever.
Well, it would be like digitally
that would be more-
remastered.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would be like VHSs and DVDs that they would stop selling. For a
Probably
while. But, like, there
digitally
was-
altered as well.
But there was a point when
Mm.
re-releases were much more common, and they were much more sporadic too. Like The Rescuers got re-released, even though technically it's never really been that big of a hit. I think the most remarkable
Sequel
thing
was
about
better.
Dude, here's probably something
everybody-
that's happening.
Everybody agrees that Rescuers Down Under was better. I think the
I
most
do. I
significant
like
thing
that,
about
yeah.
I think the most significant thing about the Rescuers is that when it was re-released, Mickey's Christmas Carol debuted as like the opening feature, which for like 20-30 minutes of a short, I'd probably sit for that in the theater. And it's got me wondering, why doesn't Disney like make their own film festival of like classic older stuff that people would get nostalgic for, and they could have like those stupid Leonard Maltin or Whoopi Goldberg disclaimers saying, yes, this is old and outdated. Are you seriously just fucking figuring this part out now? Now,
See,
Whoopi would
Well-
never make those disclaimers anymore, but
Well, re-releasing those old, doing a festival with the old classics would mean giving the people what they want, and Disney can't have that. They have to give the people what they need.
well,
Here's a light bulb moment I had.
Well, if they want more money, they're gonna have to eventually.
Yeah. So I had
know.
a light bulb moment.
agree.
It's like, okay,
I agree.
why don't we just like re-release the movies? Like just you pay for minimum distribution rights to play the movie, the classic movie one time. Well, it's like there's not enough money in that, and people don't want to get ripped off. So, we have to justify charging them more money. So it's like, oh, we're gonna revamp it. And it's also you create more jobs. So you have like some kind of like ethics officer who will go over said Goonies movie to see, if we're gonna be re-releasing it, we gotta make sure that it's up to date, and we gotta, just to create jobs, just to create excuses
After
to
all-
pay these people, and it's like, I gotta find at least 2 or 3 things problematic in the movie just so I can keep my fucking job that I convinced Hollywood I should have. I went to a stupid degree in this, whatever gender studies or whatever the hell, just so I can convince Hollywood I needed this position, this, ethics officer type thing. So now they're going to use me to be basically a morality police for these older films. And it's like, if you don't, it's like construction workers. If you're not using the money they allot you, they won't give you the same next year.
I will admit that like even the re-releases are like carefully chosen to suit audience needs. I mean, if Johnny Depp hadn't won the lawsuit, would Curse of the Black Pearl be the first re-release? No.
Nah, fuck no.
Not even with.
I'm surprised
even
it
though-
was, even if he did win. You know what I mean?
Even though Curse of the Black Pearl has all of the jack slaps that have been memed to death at this point.
That's Disney being like, "Hey, Johnny, we're sorry," and I like how Johnny's
Well,
like, "Fuck you, guys." Like, no,
Disney let Ava DuVernay do
no,
the
I know.
remake of A Wrinkle in Time.
You've never
which I got
forgiven
really,
her.
really mad about.
Drink
No,
every
and she
time
also did-
Meg.
I'll be-
This is the new thing. Drink every time Meg vents about A Wrinkle in Time, because
I will admit,
wait,
like,
I already
it was
knew that?
it was her prison. Because
I really wanted to watch A Wrinkle in Time, but Brie Larson told me that it wasn't for me.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I decided not to.
Yeah.
This
Well, I
is
guess I
deja
didn't-
vu.
I
We've had
didn't-
this exact discussion before. I swear
I
to
guess-
God.
I guess I didn't hear her. 'cause
Sorry.
No,
my
am I
two other-
imagining that or no?
I'm still
I'm
waiting
sure
for
we've-
something to tell.
It's both. It's both. Maybe it's
Yeah.
both.
I guess
Look,
I.
okay, this is a very divisive topic, guys. This is literally
no.
tearing
Oh, no.
apart the fandom. Okay, now
don't get me
unfortunately,
started.
everyone's sharing it. People are defending
I
it.
did.
people are lambasting it. Hassan Parker shared this video as like an L, you know, and it might be an L, it might be a W. Everyone's divided. I want to get Megan's opinion because she has no idea what the hell this is about. It's about a video game called Starfield. That's all you need to know. And this guy is a dude who is a streamer.
I like
He's I have mixed opinions about the guy, but he's you know, he's one of us. He's one of us. This is all right. Here we go. Reaction video from this went super viral.
Just want to say a little something. There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off. Fuck that.
You can hear it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can hear it. Is it too loud?
Yeah, I can. No, it's all right.
No,
It's
at one
okay.
point
Tyler's
he
like
does
removing
start
his
screaming,
headphones.
so-
Is it too loud,
Yeah.
Tyler? Sorry. Did I blow your eardrums? I mean, everybody, it's good for all right. Anyway, this video has got like several million views.
Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG.
Is that better, Tyler?
Lose myself, think, oh my God, just think of this world. Just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And you know, I love nothing more than, with all of that laid out in front of me, I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity.
Tyler. Is it too loud in your headphones, man?
T-Y-L.
Well,
I don't know how to do it.
look at the private chat. Sorry.
So
Is there echo?
I was trying to sign language to him.
Is everybody else hearing an echo?
A little bit.
I'm not.
A
No.
little bit.
Mine's okay. Mine's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm fine.
Oh.
Okay. Not that bad.
Oh, you know what? It could be my.
A little bit.
Huh. Well, no, if Tyler's hearing it, then maybe. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mute myself. Let's see if that works.
Yeah.
That might have been something on my end. So
So you can fucking current day us.
okay, that was definitely my end.
Well, yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronoun! Fucking gender ambiguity!
I feel him.
Wow.
I'm muted. Sorry. Yeah, so he's basically freaking out because the game made him pick pronouns at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Fucking current day California shit! Because that's all we fucking know! Because we're boring! We're so fucking boring!
I don't think we need to watch the rest of it, but yeah, he went crazy viral because of that. What are your initial thoughts on that, Megan?
I mean, it's annoying to me. Like, it's forcing it on other people and forcing them to cooperate with your thing that you're trying
like
to do.
pro
It's like,
as. All right.
what?
You're agreeing with this man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Can you
think
hear me?
that, especially with like one time I was reading this post in a group. It's called, I think, Gender Critical Women or something. It's basically a TERF group, and in a good way. And they were talking about how all these lesbians were trying to get on this website that's like a Tinder for lesbians. It's called Her, and every other third profile was a dude. And I signed up for this website, and they were totally not exaggerating. Like every other third or fourth profile was a dude, and sometimes they weren't even trying. They would just be like wearing a wig cap and some eyeliner, or sitting there with their like stubble in the picture and being like, yeah, I'm a trans lesbian. And it's like, these are just a bunch of weird dudes trying to get fucked. Like, they're always lesbians. And so they made you choose your pronouns on this website and how you identify. And the only option that was even close to woman was WOMXN. WOMAN was not even an option. You couldn't identify as a woman on a lesbian dating site. And I was like, I wrote an email. I literally wrote a strongly worded email and was like, what the fuck? And now you can identify as a woman on
I'm
this.
sure they shared it on
most
Reddit
popular
somewhere.
lesbian dating site in the world. Like, imagine if you could identify as a man on Grindr.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what
I-
I
you
mean,
just
what
reminded
do
me
you
of
guys
some-
think about Az is here?
No,
It
he's
seems like-
fucking right.
Yep.
He's fucking right. Plus,
So
Alright.
can I be the
Megan.
dumb normie in the group and just say, so this is a like an RPG type video game thing,
Yes.
and in order to play it, they're forcing you to make a pronoun in order to play it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean
wow.
that's the thing. It's
Wow.
like that is commonplace though for a lot of video games. Picking
I
your
didn't know that.
sex.
I
How
didn't know
many
Usually,
that.
yeah.
options do you have? Like, do you have neo pronouns like Faye and Fur and Z and Zer? How many
Here's-
options?
I want to hear what
have?
Chris has to say. Chris and Tyler have to say before I
Well-
go in my spiel.
I'll let Tyler go.
I mean, I totally feel the anger and frustration that he's going through.
Gotta love the passion.
It's how loud and passionate he was. That is just, you know what's going to happen. People are going to listen to the screaming and the face on him, and they're just going to say "angry white guy" and move on. Like,
It's
Exactly.
not good optics.
if he said,
Yeah.
if he, ironically, like the reason on my end it was too loud, I think some video was auto playing on the background of my laptop, and I could hear Pierce Morgan's voice coming out about this. Which,
Oh,
first of all, what a fucking shock that Pierce Morgan of all
Cool.
people would pick up on shit like this. And two, when it comes to topics like these, it's the only moments when he ever actually has a valid point. But
Hmm.
if it was Douglas Murray or or Lionel Shriver, who was much more calm and collective about these things, people would actually be listening, because you're not giving the fear and you're not giving the anger and the hostility that SJWs are just thriving on. Because whenever you melt down publicly over an SJW shit, that's when they tape you being like super loud off the top of your lungs and saying, see, they hate us. And here's the thing, like, I don't hate the people who are demanding this shit. I just don't agree with it. And I've
Yeah.
never said this out loud, mainly because nobody's ever asked, because I think because of my age, people just assume that I agree with the SJW shit on this. But like, this whole topic to me is like religion. If you believe in it,
Exactly.
by all means believe in it. Like, I'm not gonna fucking tell you this shit, but like
Facts.
people demanding that you teach creationism or critical race theory or any stuff like that. The second you start pushing this stuff on people and saying you
1,000
have
genders.
to feel, saying you have to think, you have to feel this way, like, you can go to hell. Because like,
Yeah.
you're not doing it. You can believe it all you want, but you're not believing in it for the right reasons.
Right. It's not.
Well,
It's
they-
not authentic. It's not authentic.
They hate
Well-
Christians shoving their religion down their throat, and then they're trying to shove
Right.
their religion down everyone else's throat. They
Exactly.
just
Yeah,
don't
they
see
don't-
it that way.
well, they see
Hypocrite.
they see it as retaliation. It's their turn. It's like it's time for them to, you know.
But they don't even acknowledge that they're using the very same tactics that made their
Right.
lives living hell.
no,
Like,
yeah,
here's the
you
thing.
can't. You can't
Here's the
even
thing.
acknowledge that because like they'll just blow you off once you do. You know.
Here's the thing: if you were LGBTQ and your parents were awful human beings about it, which I have seen firsthand, like, I totally feel your pain on that. I mean, I cried at school every fucking day and got called an FAG as a result of it. But the second I
617.
the second I say that, I actually have a close friend of mine who I was with for years as a friend, flat out said, like, but you're not gay. And maybe 2 days later, I stopped talking to him about it, because, like, that's the whole point of empathy, like, understanding shit that, like, you haven't gone through yourself. People my age do not believe in empathy anymore. And it's something that I genuinely, for the life of me, don't understand. And I think it's because kids my age were taught the same thing. Like, don't listen to what other people are saying, focusing on you. But the repetition of like people beating you down has like convinced a lot of Gen Z people that like it was a bullshit lesson.
How old are you?
27.
27.
Okay.
Who was
So
23?
you're
that I
not-
talked to the other day?
I was like, when you were talking, I was like, you don't seem like you're like 21 or something. You have very
I go back
well
and
thought
forth.
out points in a precise, granular fashion that you lay out very well, and you don't come off as like a
Granular.
You
early
can't- you
20s.
kidding?
Yeah, that's what I like about
kidding?
Tyler's commentary is that he doesn't just make vague statements and generalizations. He gets like really granular with his analysis. That's one of my favorite
Specific,
reasons to
Anecdotal,
listen.
personal anecdotals. Yes.
I'm
Agreed.
sometimes, you know what? Sometimes I'm an old man about like current things compared to my own parents of all stuff.
Yeah.
Which,
well, what's funny? Go ahead.
No, I had nothing to add to that.
Well, that's funny is like this screenshot here is pretty much everything's like 50-50 right now. I was watching a stream last night with Bagface and actually Andrew and Vex Electronica was on there, and I was in the comment section, and it was pretty much they were on board with the the latter of this, and I agree with where they're coming from. Like, hey man, it's overreacting. This guy's he's giving us a bad name. It's probably just content farming because there's nothing really to talk about right now, and this game is like a big release, and pronouns are nothing new in a video game, especially an RPG game, role-playing game. And I hear what they're saying, but at the same time, it's like this top comment is also correct. And everyone's like on board with either, but I mean, it's like maybe it's both. Everyone's a little right because like on the surface, it looks like he's overreacting, but to be fair, he's a goddamn reactionary YouTube channel. That's his job, is to react to things negatively. And
but
I agree.
But they're also going to take it as 110% literal as he's melting down. They're not going to consider the theatricality.
Of course, and he probably isn't being theatrical. He's probably taking it back, claiming he was being theatric just for his YouTube channel.
He's definitely not. That was an honest.
The truth is, he's just being he is being kind of a little bit crazy about it. But at the same time, it is one thing out of many things, you know.
Am I imagining Chris, or was he on like the open bar that you were?
No, it was Az wasn't on there. It was Gary Nerdrotic and I forgot the other two there. Sam was, but Az wasn't. I mean, I've said Az, I do like him, I do agree with him, but no, he wasn't on my open bar.
When Tyler analyzes how long it would take to learn a fictitious language compared to real ones, well, talk at granular analysis. That was from
for the record, Russ. For the record, Russ, I analyze stuff that's actually interesting to me. So.
I like Tyler because like we'll be doing a stream and I'll be running my mouth as usual, and then like he'll just pop off with, "Did you guys happen to know that Jack Reacher wore the mocap suit for Ninja Turtle?" And I'm like, "Wait, what? Like, where did you even get that? Like, how do you even know something like that? Like, like where do you even get that?" He just has those like random bits of technical information that, and then of course, because I'm an idiot, I was like, "Well, that's awesome. What is mocap?" Explain that to me.
Yeah. I definitely have moments with what was it? I told Wes about his business card. I was like, all right, it's 3.75 by 2.5 inches. Just tell him you got a full bleed with your prints. He's like, I don't know what that means.
What was my response? Yeah,
I don't know what that means. Cool.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
I'll just say what he said right there. I'm like, cool.
Yeah. That's all. This is what my guy said to say.
But yeah, I kind of agree more. I mean, I see where like Vex and most of these people are talking about how like the woke, anti-woke crowd, we're starting to seem just like the woke crowd. You know, we're being deranged at this point. We're overreacting. But you know, every man has its limits. And the thing is, like this text to harm's tweet is saying, it's like the pronouns in Starfield. It just demonstrates how easily people are conditioned. You know, it's just one thing out of many where we're just kind of being taught to just be, it's normal to just be like, and pronouns, your pronouns. I mean, maybe one thing
and
the game was asking for.
Real quick question before you go further. So do you have to do is it just an option, or you actually have to you have to do the pronoun thing, or else you can't participate?
Yes,
in the game.
Look it up. I'm sure it's something stupid, you know. I'm sure it's something like optional, or I think it's more like just the word Starfield. Is that the name of this game?
Yes, it's called Starfield. Okay. I have two friends who bought it. They love the game, but you know, this does it's to the point now with a lot of entertainment. I have certain friends like, hey Chris, I play this video game, read this comic, but I do see even me and Wes watch Justified, and we do see some of the woke bullshit, and it depends on how much woke bullshit you're going to tolerate. Simple as that.
I think that's the reason.
Yeah, I think it's more like you know, like people.
It's just an option to do, or you have to do it. You have to make a pronoun, or you can't play.
I think it's really more about the word pronouns, because like usually in RPGs they say, "Hey, what's your character? Are you a boy or a girl? Are you male or female?" You know?
I can go on
but I think when they ask like your pronouns, I think that's like extra.
Please do.
You know?
Yeah, no, well, I can definitely test that. Like, you know, for a lot of these people, this modern generation, some of us have been playing video games since the fucking 80s. You would make, yes, a male and female character because only two genders exist. Sorry, men can't get pregnant, you know. Male or females. You know,
is
and
they
like,
tell you, you know,
Really?
you could do all these pronouns and you could have
Yeah.
like butch female characters, but like you can never make like sexy female characters. That's like becoming the
that's
new
going to, yeah,
double
definitely.
standard. They want you to
Yeah.
make all types of body type characters. They want your avatar to reflect yourself.
Yeah.
But like you can't have like a big titty woman. What if a big titty woman is literally playing the game and she wants
Yeah.
to reflect herself?
But like,
You
look how
know?
you say that there. Before it was just say Skyrim,
point.
because this comes from the same company that makes Skyrim and Fallout. Yes, Wes, when you make a character, when you play these games, you make male, female, that's it. You create the character, customize their face, color, this and that, press enter, start the game. This whole new he, him, she, her thing, that's new, and that's what people are getting pissed off for, is because like as would say, when I'm exploring Mars or Pluto or fucking talking to an alien race, I don't want to hear about BLM. I don't want to hear about fucking Trump, because you're so fucking obsessed with Trump or BLM or fucking whatever. He,
But
him, they,
also-
them. When I'm exploring the universe, I don't give a fuck about. There's more important things to worry about than he, him. When you're fucking engaging with alien races.
Yeah, full bleed
So,
dark hour is when the ink, you want the ink to go all the way to the edge of the document, the paper. So what you usually do is you print a certain size and you trim the excess. That is called a full bleed. But anyway, yeah, I think the thing is, like with this pronouns thing, like there is argue that if this game takes place in the year 7,000 fucking 252 in the galaxy far, far away, so like, you know, yeah, aliens and shit, pronouns, like, yeah, whatever. But I think it's more like, yeah, but people are being conditioned to be like, hey, welcome to McDonald's. How may I take your order? What are your pronouns, please, so I can address you? Like, that's like the future they want. They want us
do you
to
think
just be like,
aliens even have like male and female, or are they just like?
I wouldn't be surprised if
beings?
I wouldn't be surprised if the aliens landed and they'll be like, tell us about your 1,000 genders. And they'll be like, we have 2 genders. Just like
I
you
saw a
do.
comedian the other day, and he was saying the reason that
aliens.
he was saying the reason the aliens don't even mess with us is because we're like ants to them, like we're just these low life forms. And he was like,
what
can
do
you
you do to
imagine
ants?
if they came and landed and they were like men and women of Earth, and they were like, excuse me, some of us are neither. He was like, they're just not going to come down.
Now,
Well, I mean, what do you do with ants? You keep them in a little ant farm. That's probably what Earth is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Coming
What if
from a
like the
gamer
whole galaxy
standpoint,
is an ant farm?
currently I've been streaming 1 hour a day, and like, and then we can see this. I'm putting up 1 hour a day of Final Fantasy 16. Now, Final Fantasy 16 is the 16th installment in Final Fantasy, and the biggest complaint last year was this game is made in Japan, wasn't even fucking made in America. The biggest complaint was there's too many white people in an RPG. Okay,
Dude,
so
speaking of, go ahead.
yeah, and so like what As said, to a Western civilization, he's right, and this is why anime, this is why fucking manga, this is why all these things other countries are laughing at us for, because in Final Fantasy 16, I never hear about he, him, they, them, transgender, gay, all this stuff.
will.
Well, I mean, but right now though, it's this
Yeah,
they're starting
to come around.
I don't know if the Japanese will go for that shit, honestly.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
it's starting to
I'm
infiltrate
not
the
seeing it.
manga. It's starting to infiltrate the anime. Barely. It's just starting. If they push back now, they could probably
That's why I definitely
turn it
agree with
around.
what As coming from, though. But this is a very Western thing, because the rest of the world is
No.
games that are made in other countries they still have fucking anime big titty fucking women. They still have like low skirts. They still have guys with huge ass swords. And like you said, Enzo, nowadays it's Japan is too busy making sexualizing females. Now it's like, oh, we can't have in America women with their chest too big, or women have to be fat or disgusting. In Japan, they're making fucking chicks with triple E chest with a fucking 2-inch waist and stuff. They don't care.
But no pubic hair.
Well,
That's
here,
it.
speaking of too many white people,
Tyler's face.
you guys heard
Sorry to
about
interrupt
Burning
you.
Man, right? Burning
Sorry to
Man
interrupt you.
attendees are stuck, huh?
Luke's
Yeah,
trying
sorry.
to talk.
Yeah, I just need to. I need to
You're
get an
gonna
early
leave.
start.
Yeah,
so,
go
yeah.
to bed. Yes, I was gonna ask
I
you.
know. I was on there a
forgot to
bit
ask you
longer,
if you
wasn't
had
I? But yeah,
Don't worry, man.
the William Friedkin stream, I'll definitely be on a lot
Monday.
longer though. Yeah,
We'll do it
got a lot
Monday
of
for
films.
sure. We'll do it early. We'll talk for 6 hours about it. We'll do all
It was
the movies.
nice to have you here.
Yeah, dude.
I know. So I know.
No worries, man. You can check out the
you
rest
take
of
care,
tomorrow.
man. I know.
All
Yeah, you
buddy.
take
Well,
care,
have a
you
good
lot.
day. Have a good day with your brother
All right.
Oh, well,
or your
Bye, Luke.
cousin, your brother.
right.
All right, man. Good night out in England. But yes, people at Burning Man are stuck My cousin almost went to Burning Man, and there was like crazy floods that happened before because of the hurricane. And then while they were out there, it rained again, and all the roads got like muddied up and washed out. So like they're stuck there. I think they're still stuck there. It was raining again today. They're being told to conserve food and water. Obviously, all the hippie friends are like, don't listen to the news, man. They're over exaggerating. The party's still going on, but it still looks pretty bad. Muddy wise, you know, I mean, the playa dust gets everywhere, and now it's just mud. And it's just so funny because I don't know, having a big rave out in the desert and turns into a lake. I'm hoping that, you know, we get to see some of the PTSD, like Fire Fest style anecdotes about people who did not have a good time, because not everyone's camping out in an RV with extra food and water, you know. So, but here's a good one. Being trapped at Burning Man seems almost as bad as being trapped in a conversation with someone who went to Burning Man. So I hope these people kind of understand the hell they put us through, you know. You guys ever been to Burning Man? Tyler, you've been to Burning Man, right?
Closest I've been in the States was New York or Florida. That's really about it.
Man, you guys need to go to Burning Man, bro. It'll change your life. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, it's kind of neat before you start mentioning all the new age shit.
Enzo and I met at a burn.
Yeah, we used to go to
in
burns out in Texas out here. 13 or something. 2011.
12. But yeah, we were fucking degenerate hippies also. Kind of still are.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like you can have, like Tyler was saying, empathy and open views, but still be like, can you not shove your shit down my throat?
Yeah,
they'll be
People
all
are like,
right.
oh,
Like,
if you don't like that, then you hate people. And it's like,
I'm-
no, actually, I don't.
Well,
Just don't hate
Look,
me.
Well, here's the problem. The loudest people about this kind of shit, Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, they don't give a
Right.
shit about, they didn't give a shit about any of this stuff beforehand. And I mean, you can make the argument that they were kind of preconditioned to feel that way. I mean, they'll flat out say that like their free will has changed, but their thoughts haven't. I don't buy it for a second, but whatever. It's just guys like us who really don't care and are more than happy to like be around people. It's just apparently we're not interesting enough, or I can't really. I know a lot of
Intersectional
people.
enough.
You're normies. Bunch of normies, bro.
I'm autistic, so like I could get a foot in the door if I feel like it, but,
Exploit it. You'll be my man. You'll be our man inside, Tyler.
I'm just kidding. If Elon couldn't,
I was like,
get in,
I'm
nobody
1/15
will.
Apache. You can let me in.
Yeah. But you know
You
what's
let
funny
me
is I
in.
know like someone like Meg and Weston plays many games as I would, maybe Tyler or Enzo, but like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers said, someone like this Hassan guy, you're a massive fucking hypocrite, bro, because
Oh,
you're
yeah,
the same
everyone-
you're the same person
Hassan
that
Piker?
yeah. Because
He was the
like,
guy
he's just-
shitting on Heels. A lot of people share that Heels rant and it's skidding everywhere. And Hassan, like all these people like Hassan Piker and these others are just like, look at these man babies crying. It's like, dude, you cry every time there isn't a fucking rainbow flag on something.
that's
you
what I was
know?
gonna say
Devin
because you know it's
Tracy
like
calls him Brown Fabio.
it's
That's
the fucking hypocrisy because I bought
what I think.
Hogwarts Legacy for myself, and my girlfriend at the time, because my girlfriend loves Harry Potter. And the thing is, in Hogwarts Legacy, the same people that are pissed off that Az is doing this, they're also fucking saying, I'm boycotting Hogwarts Legacy because I can't make a trans character. Or like in Hogwarts Legacy, if I make a male character, my male character can't enter the female bathroom because boys don't
but, like,
belong in women's bathrooms. That's
To
why.
your point exactly, though, I mean, how long until in actual movies people are referring to people in they, them, and the whole plot seems fucked up because you think they're talking about like multiple people, but really they're talking about this one person in the car. Like, how long till they start doing that in movies and you can't even keep track of the plot anymore?
Wait, you mean they haven't already?
I
mean,
haven't seen it.
I've
It's-
seen
Have
like
you
a
guys seen it?
couple. Here's the thing: like, I saw like a 5-minute bit from like that Tom and Jerry remake from the dude who made fucking Barbershop of all things.
Yeah.
The
What?
fact that happened, yeah. But there's one moment where I think somebody accidentally calls Jerry a she or whatever, and Chloe Grace Moretz just goes he. Wait, you know, it could be a she, and I'm just sitting there going, "Are you out of your fucking mind, guys? Like, seriously."
here's the thing. That was the second time I think this whole year that I had to pee in the middle of a stream. So good job, guys.
I
But
fucked up
yeah.
my camera somehow.
But also, I would laugh at these people because, as like anybody, the thing is, if you go out and you purchase a game, say you spend whatever, 40, 50, 60 bucks on a game, much like a movie ticket, when you pay for something, you do have the motherfucking right to criticize something. So guys like this Hassan guy, you're a scumbag, dude, because even Hogwarts Legacy, you wouldn't even pay for the game because it doesn't have enough trans issues or because you had a problem with J.K. Rowling. So don't sit there and criticize a game that you haven't even fucking paid for. At least Az is actually paying for this game and playing it. You know what? So if you go see a movie, I may not agree with you, but if you paid for it, you know what? Then you paid for it. You got the right to criticism. Don't sit there and shit on a fucking video game like Hogwarts Legacy. I'm going to boycott this game. Why? Why? Because you don't like J.K. Rowling, you're boycotting a game, but you didn't pay for it, son. So shut the fuck up.
One other thing,
Which-
like J.K. Rowling had nothing to do with that game.
Oh
which
yeah,
is,
exactly.
I've said this before on another stream, but like being with binging with Babish like started and ended one of his videos with a Hogwarts Legacy promotion because he and his wife are such big Harry Potter fans. And I don't know if the amount of dislikes and negative comments came down to them disagreeing on what his concept of an English breakfast is, or the transphobia allegations. But I just left a comment saying, at least he sticks by his word, and now I'm not so sure about that because dude made like 3 videos replicating food from fake movies that he made himself because all of his crew are like wannabe filmmakers who never got that far. They kind of identify with the strike and shit like that. They stopped doing it, but I don't know if that was just out of necessity or they just got tired of it. But
Yeah. And then all of us go through this too. Like, listen, I flat out said I hated fucking Barbie. I thought it was a piece of shit movie. But if you like Barbie, you know what? Good on you. Have a good time. I don't care. Az is not sitting there. He's not boycotting. He's not saying to take anybody's channels down, anybody's fucking Twitch streams. How many people from Melanie Mac to that Star Wars girl to I'm sure like Vex Electronica, if you were playing Hogwarts Legacy, people were trying to fucking get rid of your Twitch stream, your YouTube channel, because you're playing a game that's quote unquote transphobic because you don't look like what J.K. Rowling said. Okay, if you don't want to play Hogwarts Legacy, don't play the fucking game. Move on with your life. Az is not trying to cancel anybody for playing this game. He just says, you know what, then I got a problem with that. Oh my God, I have a right to dislike something. These people, they're hypocrites because if you play something they don't like, they want to remove your Twitch stream or they want to shut down your channel. Come on.
Literally, all she said was a woman is an adult human female. That's
Oh,
what
God,
started
can't
all of
say that.
this.
Huh.
dude,
That's it.
go ahead.
I said that's it.
Oh, you want to hear one of the sickest burns I saw recently from Nerdrotic? Did you guys see this Mark Hamill burn?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So Mark Hamill made a tweet. Where is it? He's just like, hey, did y'all miss me? And a lot of people were like, no, not really. A lot of people were obviously like, yeah. And fucking Nerdrotic came in and was like, your granddaughter. Oh my God.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now, if you don't know the story, Mark Hamill was basically recently outed as like forcing his son to make this woman he impregnated get an abortion. Something about like not, I don't know, not approving or whatever. But damn, that was a sick burn. I wish I could find it. Oh well. I think Toxic said he's got a once again, sorry I had to leave, but look forward to Bill Freakin' stream. Yes, take care, you lot, and happy belated birthday, Meg. Hope you had a great booze up. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Northern English
Thank
Bastard,
you, Luke.
of course.
That's sweet, and we did.
Okay, so something I wanted to talk about also was this. I love how like my show, my stupid fucking drunken nerd out session I do with y'all is better in production value and in reception than this Strike Force 5.
I think more people. No, I think in like one day, more people have watched Bill Maher's fucking Club Random as opposed to this shit.
Look what happened to John Oliver since he became American.
He's so fat now.
Yeah, he's starting to have a Zazu beak at this point.
Yeah, he's just looking like the bird.
One time,
voiced.
Yeah, on one of his shows, one time he said, "I know I look like a nearsighted parrot who works at a bank," and so now every time I see him,
Hey,
Yeah.
that's
Really think about
nothing.
your
Hey,
side
at
of
least he
it.
knows.
That's nothing compared to Jimmy Fallon, who has like the Heath Ledger facial scars on the side of his face.
Dude, Jimmy Fallon has like a wandering eye. What's up with his fucking right eye, dude? It's like
Oh,
looking
no.
over there. And yeah, they none of them want to be there. I don't. Did you guys watch it? I actually listened to this shit.
Yeah, Seth
Um,
Meyers looks like he's watching his little brother ruin that '70s show again.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. None of them want to be there, and they all joke about how they don't want to be there. And it's so obvious, like Jimmy Kimmel's brainchild, Jimmy Kimmel's show. Jimmy Kimmel's the one with the soundboard. Jimmy Kimmel's with the controls. He's also
all
got like
woke now.
dude, he's the worst.
I remember Juggies
I
on
hate him.
trampolines.
No, Colbert
Carl
sucks the
Malone.
most.
Fucking, I remember him in blackface as Carl Malone. I remember him on Meet When Ben Stein's Money. He was just an edgelord, just trying to just rattle the contestants and Ben Stein. How many Holocaust and Nazi jokes did he say to Ben Stein, a Jewish man, to his
A
face?
lot.
Probably several. I'll look it up later.
He also had a whole segment on every single show of the Man Show where it was just women in bikinis bouncing their titties on a trampoline. And every time at the end of the show, they'd be like, and women on trampolines. And they called them Juggies. Not even women, they called them Juggies. And now he's like, well, he got ripped off that show on Comedy Central. And now he's like, parroting the most woke shit on a
He has a script.
Which is weird.
It's like,
'cause
dude, we remember when you were like,
Well,
harassing
the problem.
I remember.
asking him if
Go
he
ahead,
could
Tyler.
rub them down.
I remember Kimmel taking shots at Rosie O'Donnell back when O'Donnell randomly and out of nowhere accused Kelly Ripa of being homophobic because Clay Aiken guest hosted her show or something, and like he put his hand on her mouth so that she wouldn't interrupt or some shit like that. And she goes, "Where's that hand been?" in sarcasm to the fact that he literally like touched her without asking. And then I don't know, O'Donnell was like, if that was a straight man, if that was a cute man, it wouldn't have been anything. Not 5 minutes later, Ripa called into The View to say that was outrageous and you, Rosie, know better. And Kimmel said two things. One, he said that if I was the producer of The View, I'd have Kelly Ripa call in to rant on Rosie O'Donnell all the time. I mean, I think most of us would. And then when Kimmel played a clip of O'Donnell saying, as a gay woman, this is how it felt for me, the skit literally ends with him going, and that's the final word from Rosie O'Donnell, gay sheriff, with like the title card and the Photoshop face of her on top of a sheriff's thing. Like, it was funny. It reminded me that people actually had balls at one point before the internet, before
My
social
favorite
media.
Rosie O'Donnell moment is whenever Megyn Kelly was like, during the debate, Mr. Trump, you have referred to women as pigs. And he was like, no, only Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
And so, like you were saying, I did check Twitter X now. It was Gary Neurotic. He tweeted towards Mark Hamill because Mark Hamill put down, "Did anybody miss me?" He's like, "Yeah, your granddaughter."
Yeah, no, I was trying to find an actual screenshot of it, but it's whatever. I mean, I did it justice.
No,
You got the backstory.
Well, to
But yeah,
make some-
everyone reacted.
yeah.
I think I retweeted like 100,000 times,
Yeah.
reposted, excuse me.
Yeah,
but-
apparently he stopped talking to his granddaughter because his daughter
Yeah.
wouldn't get an abortion. Damn, dude, that's cold.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sophie's choice.
That's the whole story. Yeah, some kind of scandalous thing.
Wow,
but-
he officiated Sheldon Cooper's wedding, but can't talk to his granddaughter. That's
Yeah.
Did you guys see
Same
The
thing with Joe
Passenger?
Biden. Joe Biden doesn't talk to his. Yeah, I was telling them about it. I recommended it to them earlier. The
good.
Passenger.
well, it's from the blow up, guys. So I would definitely take that for consideration.
Yeah. Well, it's just so funny because the other reasons why Jimmy Kimmel sucks balls and he's the worst dude ever is because this show is so awful. Mostly because it's just like every other woke virtuous thing. It's presented as some kind of awesome, noble cause. This Strike Force 5, we're raising awareness and money for the people on strike, the writers, the producers, the screen actors. They need help. It's kind of like the Maui thing with Oprah Winfrey and The Rock, like begging for charity. Like, hey, we each pledged, $50 million each.
Oh boy.
And we're going to ask you, the taxpayers who's struggling right now under inflation, to donate your hard-earned money to the people of Maui. It's like, shouldn't our tax money cover that, or is it all gone to Ukraine? Also, why don't you get more millionaire friends to help out? You know,
I did the math the other day, and these 5 in particular, I looked it all up, and collectively they're worth 156 million.
Yeah. How many
whereas-
views do you think this show is getting? The answer is
I think
not
it's
anywhere
probably
near
flopping.
156 million. No,
Yeah.
It's like in the thousands, the low thousands. I mean, Jesus. And also the meeting, you watch the show, it has like Zoom meeting vibes with like the awkward, like, you know, solo cam whenever anyone's talking. And obviously everyone makes at least one, if not 2 jokes about how they wish they weren't there or how it's lame to be on a podcast. It's like this idea where you're like making fun of the medium and then trying to like, you know, invade it. And
Which
it
is
was like,
weird because does Conan not still have a podcast and he kicked all of their asses?
if
when he
Conan was
TV?
on this, or if Conan had his own podcast by himself, it would be 100,000 times better than this shit.
I swear, I'm pretty sure he does.
Well, it was like Tim Dillon joked about, and you know, I might have joked about it too, but it's like this idea of like the cast from Friends, they were doing a podcast and they were talking about just the most annoying, dumb crap. Just like, hey, how you been? How was your weekend? That's all they're talking about. They should be talking about the dirt. Like with these 5 dudes, they should be laying out the nostalgia about what it was like to be a writer for SNL. They should be talking about, you know, various different like inside gossip. Who's an asshole? Who sucked to work with? Like, this is the stuff we want to hear. And like Tim Dillon was joking about, dude, if it was Courtney Cox and, you know, what's her name? Jennifer Aniston and all them. And they were just talking about how much they hated their maids who didn't speak English. Like that would be awful, but it would get a shit 100 million views. Like everyone would watch it. If they were just like, oh my God, the poor people on the street, I'm so tired of it. You know, if they were just being real, like, you know, their authentic, like awful selves. And if this was that show, like this Strike Force 5, if they were just being like unabashedly, you know, pricks, which they kind of are, but like not in a scripted way. It's like the jokes are all the same. Hey, we wish we weren't here. Hey, raising money for the writers. But it's just so lame because it's like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon both volunteered to pay for their show to continue the show. And Jimmy Kimmel refused. And I assume there's some kind of money laundering involvement where it's like, oh, we'll donate like 5% of whatever money we make and I'll keep the rest. But what I really think it's just they have inside knowledge that there's lockdowns coming and they're just Jimmy Kimmel is like selfishly trying to secure a Spotify deal somehow by launching this podcast ahead of the curb.
Wouldn't that mean he'd have to work alongside Joe Rogan or something like that?
Right. I mean, that's the thing is like Spotify is canceling so many of their deals they had, except Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's really the only one that panned out. Joe Rogan's really the only Spotify session that seems to be worth its money. Everything else is like,
get rid of.
Yeah, because the Obamas flunked out, Meghan Markle mercifully flunked out. Like I said, Bill Maher seems to be doing fine with his podcast, which it's nothing special. It's really just his talk show, but with one guest as opposed to 3 or 4 and no audience. And not going to lie, his basement/bar is kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I just remember I listened to Chrissy Mayer talk about this stream, and yeah, she was laying down some pretty great theories about how just like Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel's up to no good here with this show, you know. And also like they were having so many great suggestions. Like if you want to make the show interesting, first of all, have each host rotate who's the actual host for the show, you know. There's step 1. And then step 2, it's like, dude, how about this is how you can actually make money. You could fucking have like a Jimmy Kimmel YouTube channel or something, you know. Every one of these guys has a channel, right? Every one of these TV shows probably has a channel, or there's like an NBC
talk shows,
YouTube channel. Stream from that channel, and you can get super chats and you know all this stuff that you get monetized. Like, hello, are you stupid? Instead, they have this dumb like Apple Spotify podcast.
Didn't you?
Are you retarded? I was gonna say
stupid.
Are you stupid? Are you stupids? But yeah, it's just so lame. And also the other thing that's so stupid about it is like they have here's how you guys can donate yourself. And it's 2, not 1, but 2 email addresses. And it's like, what boomer shit is this? How about give us like an email plus a Venmo account plus like a you know, like I said, like have a YouTube channel dedicated for just this dumb show. Put it up for free. And also that's the other thing that's so bad is like they're obviously doing scabs. They obviously have scabs because these morons are so boomers. They're such boomers that they need assistance to help them run this stupid show. I'm fucking drunk and stoned and running this shit practically like with one eye open, you know? Like,
yeah, but Joe Rogan literally does that every single day.
Right. Joe Rogan too. These guys have so much such a hard time doing anything. Jimmy Kimmel's
But
big.
I mean,
Jimmy
but Rogan
Kimmel,
has that one Jamie guy that he bosses around like a bitch.
but he's also got experience. That's the other thing.
Well, it's like when your grandmother or your mom or somebody has to, as you try to like help them figure out their password for the 20th time on their.
Oh, you're telling me.
You know what Jimmy Kimmel does? His contribution to this show is every time he says the name Strike Force 5, he plays some kind of like explosion sound on a soundboard. And that's it. That's the running joke. And then there's all these other dumb jokes about how like John Oliver. Oh, here's a great story. Steve Crowder tells this story. This is so funny. He's like, one time I was at this like red carpet thing and I saw this famous actor who I won't name. And I walked up to him and you know what he said? He said, I won't appear on your show. And he said, oh no, I wanted to talk about this movie you're in. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then Jimmy Kimmel's like, well, do you think that maybe it's because he just doesn't want to be on talk shows in general? And it's like, yeah, maybe that's what it is. That's the whole discussion they have. Now, I could talk for like 15, 20 minutes about just that, how stupid he is, Steven Crowder. First of all, obviously, he's saying he doesn't want to be on your specific show as soon as you went up to him because you're fucking so divisive and political with your dumb show. Like specifically your show. He's an actor. You're telling me he's like too shy to be in a talk show circuit? That's their job to go to talk show circuits.
I don't think these woke liberal weirdos quite understand that like they live in an echo chamber and it's all done in a bubble. Like, you know, I used to really enjoy Jimmy Kimmel. I used to like a lot of late night stuff.
Howard Stern and Jimmy Kimmel, they're the same fucking dude, basically, at this point.
As soon as they started becoming woke and all that bullshit, like, I just tuned out, man.
Here's the thing. If Jimmy Kimmel was always funny and always woke, hell yeah, he was ahead of the curve. But the problem is we know for a fact he was a total, you know, offensive asshole, you know?
Right.
Like, he has, you can't, you know, you're a...
Yeah, he's the one that started the whole thing with the girls with the big titties bouncing on the trampolines and the little fat kid... Kalamadakis or whatever the hell his name is that would be like trying to sell beer on the side of the road and be like, okay, Hitler, don't tell me what to to.
Well, it's like my We Watch videos. Like, it's so hard to wash clean. You know what I mean? Something that's dirty. Like, if you have like a stream where it's like 30 minutes of movie trivia and wholesome, like family friendly jokes, and then 15 minutes of dirty, fucking disgusting jokes, even 5 minutes, even if it's just 1 minute, even if it's just one disgusting joke in your 3-hour stream, the whole stream is dirty unless you take it out, you know? And it's one of those things where like, if you have this image as this like edgy dude, like imagine if George Carlin was alive and he just like swore off swearing. Ew. You know, like what?
We already had a George Carlin that didn't swear. His name was Don Rickles.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like imagine like the dude's famous for being, you know, super offensive and
imagine if all of a sudden, like in a year or two, like I drink the Kool-Aid and then I get on in it and it's no longer the Lord of toxicity. It's the Lord of patience and understanding and, you know, the Lord of progressiveness.
Well, here's the thing.
Hey guys, let's be super cool with, Rachel Zegler because she's just living her own truth. And
here's what I'll say.
Get behind that.
Here's what I'll say. If you were doing it because you genuinely believed it, sure. But if you're doing it because someone was paying you or you thought you'd get laid, shame on you. Shame on you.
All right, shit.
You know? Oh, by the way, speaking, because I know Toxic might not have to be here very long, but I wanted to show you this because you brought up Salma Hayek, and I did have this saved. I literally had this pulled up, but this Frank Frazetta art from Dusk Till Dawn.
That is awesome. Where is that at?
The guy who did Conan. That. It's just Google it. Frank Frazetta from Dusk Till Dawn. The guy who did Conan the Barbarian and many other, you know, heavy metal style pinup art. And I've seen this art before, but I didn't realize it was Frazetta. And there's his signature right there by Quentin Tarantino's foot. But yeah, look that up. That's cool. And as far as back to like the whole this like strike show. It's just so like bittersweet because, like I said, it's like these writers and these actors are striking at the worst possible time, and we were fine. We were so happy without these stupid talk show assholes. Nobody gave a shit that their show got stopped. Their shows all stopped.
Yeah,
we were all moving
cares.
along, and they didn't like that.
Yeah,
so now they're like,
cares.
"Hey guys, we're doing a podcast," and again, nobody cares. Nobody's watching it. I watched a podcast make fun of it just so I could watch the podcast kind of secondhand.
Good.
So I mean, but Jesus, it was so banal. Is that the correct word?
I would say
Might as well be.
pedantic. I would probably say
Yeah.
pedantic is a good word to use for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in other news, before you left, I mean, here's like some interesting facts about like how bad it is in terms of like the strike. Like let's talk about some of these stuff that is delayed here. And now here's the thing. I want the strike to go on forever. Now Dune 2 is unfortunate, but here's the thing. I'm not worried that we're never going to watch Dune 2.
Yeah.
Because it's finished. It'll come out eventually, even if it has to come out on Max, you know. But I am worried about things
that might be very likely, actually. That might be very
but I
likely.
am worried about like stuff that isn't finished, like Deadpool 3, which I really didn't care about. But you look at this list and it's all sequels. It's all something called Best Served Cold. Okay, that's original. Average height,
they're
average
still-
build.
Wait, they're still making the Blade movie?
This is that
I mean-
show.
Who knows, dude?
Pre-production paused ahead of the planned filming start in 2023. Production will resume upon the conclusion of the strike. Production will resume.
Am I the only one that thought that the Blade TV series that they had on Fuse or whatever the hell it was?
To me, it was Spike TV. Spike
Spike
TV.
TV,
Yeah.
sorry. I
watched
actually liked that. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah,
I never
I
saw
watched it
but
too.
what I did
Yeah.
see looked all right. The Island? Are they remaking The Island? They got
No.
That can't be it. It's probably just a
Godzilla
similar
versus
Same
King
name.
Kong, the new
mean, The
Empire.
Island
That
is
movie
a-
is
Is a kind of a generic name, The Island.
yeah, it could be something else. But Godzilla versus Kong is another movie that is finished. It's like in the can. So we'll probably see that eventually.
Yeah.
But like, you know, like some of these other things, like the Batman Part 2, it's like shit, that might never happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows? Like Craven is postponed. I assume that movie was close to done.
Oh, geez, even Stuckman got the boot on that one.
Yeah, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, the trilogy.
Fourth one. Oh,
Yeah.
third one. You got it.
Oh yeah, they made Twisters. a sequel.
Twisters. And then
I
the
mean,
new Tron. But again, everything's a sequel. God damn it. Does anything here sound
course.
like Strays?
Wow,
No, you
that
already saw
already
that.
came out.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on a second. Clint Eastwood was filming something that got delayed.
Oh, his final movie. Jesus. That could be
Well,
unfortunate if he dies.
One can only hope.
They're making a Karate Kid sequel. Oh shit!
Wait, what?
I
It's
guess-
probably the Cobra Kai film or whatever. Who knows?
Yeah.
Bunch of television shows. I don't really.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai's postponed. I don't really care about shows. Daredevil. Like, yeah, everyone's upset Daredevil got postponed, but so
I'm
did what was
Were
the
they
other one?
though?
What was the other thing that got postponed along with it?
It was
Um,
Agatha all along.
No, it was
Yeah.
Punisher. Well, no, that's not Punisher was part of Daredevil. Yeah.
Something.
Is there any way that Disney's not going to fuck up Daredevil and Punisher?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Is it at all possible? Is there
Oh
any
no,
chance?
guys!
Well, they
Guys-
already fucked up Daredevil and She-Hulk.
Grey's Anatomy
Yeah.
season 20 has been postponed.
I thought
Oh,
that show
no.
was canceled.
I know. I've said that for a decade. Like, how's that show
How the
still
How
on?
the fuck is the Librarian still on
now-
CW?
Old
people wanted
people who just have
library-
Channel 3 on.
People wanted
No.
librarians over the fucking Powerpuff
Listen,
Girls.
I do admit I am kind of pissed off at Rings of Power because that was my first video to get 5,000 views. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
want Rings of Power. Come on.
You can't
it's not,
be. You
it's
can't
not
be
worth it.
Look,
It's
man,
not
you
worth
can't
it,
be-
man.
cultivating the hate likes. You know, it'll drive you crazy, Blue. I'm telling you, because once you start, you'll become like Gollum from fucking Lord of the Rings.
know.
Didn't it teach you anything?
Seriously, that like half hour.
It's called audience capture, and it's the reason why Nico Avocado is 500 pounds. You know,
That fat piece
Like,
of shit.
he used to be a vegan when he started his YouTube channel. Look at him now. He's a disgusting mess
Oh.
because the fucking audience capture. You'll do whatever the audience says. Hey, man,
Yeah.
I'll listen to the audience. I'll take their opinions into consideration, but I'm doing my own thing. You know what I mean? Like, if we gel, if I agree with some of, I always take all feedback
Yeah.
in consideration. Mixing these videos is always a bitch.
It was fun though.
Before I jump off, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Chris. Before I jump off,
Right.
what are you? So I'm about to go see Goonies with my daughter here in a little bit. We're gonna go to dinner and go see Goonies. What are some of the ones that are coming out? Did you guys already cover like what you're excited for or no?
Beetlejuice 2?
Why is there Gladiator 2? He's dead.
It's not him.
I assume it's got a different title,
but
but these are
still.
movies these are movies where the screenplay is completed and now production's hot. So these movies we will probably not see.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake! An Ocean's 11 prequel? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Mission Impossible. I do want to see how it
Everything on
ends,
this list is a fucking sequel except for untitled Joseph Kosinski film.
Because like Enzo was saying, Mission Impossible, they did film it. So
whatever. Yeah. What about Enzo? Are you gonna go watch any of these re-releases in the theater?
Nah, man. I mean, like I said, it'd have to be something real special. Maybe I'll check out The Exorcist because I do have to do a appearance on Cannoli Sasquatch channel on October 11th.
We need to do a rewatch on Exorcist 3 Legion. I'm telling you, that's
Exorcist
so
4.
underrated.
Or no, you're talking about George C. Scott.
Yes, that's Exorcist 3.
People argue that even though that Exorcist is the better of the movies, but yeah, it's pretty arguable and
Exorcist
agreeable.
3 is amazing.
Exorcist 3 is scarier than Part 1.
It is, and it's so
I was gonna say because Exorcist 1 just did nothing for me.
Exorcist 1 is all about the subtext is horrifying, you know. It's one of those things where the more you think about it, the freakier it gets.
Yeah, but
you're
like,
yeah, that's
like that
scary.
That's me. Yeah, but it's me we're talking about. That should have worked by now.
Yeah, maybe. Well, check out our stream on Cannoli Sasquatch October 11th. Hopefully I'll change your mind, and it is a scary movie. So many hidden details that I want to talk about, especially like there's stuff about like I need to ask them because I want to talk about like child abuse. It's like a common subtext theme in the movie, and it's like how much can we talk about that? Because like. If you watch the movie, it's like all signs should point that she was, sexually abused because like she's saying a bunch of like, filthy words, sexually explicit words. She's doing sexually explicit acts.
But wouldn't that mean that the mom shouldn't come back, but the daughter should for the sequel?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's obvious that she is possessed by the devil in the movie, but the idea is like when they're interviewing her and they're trying to figure out what's wrong with her, that should have been like one of the first things they should have asked about because she's also like very aggressive towards strangers, especially strangers of the opposite sex. And then there's the idea of that Burke, the guy that falls out of the window. She was obviously thrown out of the window by her with, he was watching her. What was he doing in the room with her? Things like that.
I know it was the 60s. I know it's the 60s and 70s, so I'm not going to question why they called priests to deal with abuse allegations. But
yeah, this is before the Spotlight situation, or this is when was that? The 90s, right? When they unveiled the whole Catholic priest.
It was the
controversy.
90s, yeah. The 90s.
That used to be like a joke, and then in the 90s, it was like, oh, that's real. All these anecdotes are true,
I know. I certainly didn't think it was a joke when I was in Catholic school. Father
boy.
Callahan.
Damn.
I kid.
Damn you for making me laugh at that, man.
Hey, listen.
Man.
It's not.
And I was just going to point out that like
it was consensual. He was a very handsome man, and candy was hard to come by when you grew up poor like I did. So, if I had to do a couple extra sessions, in my altar boy outfit in order to get, that new Nestle Crunch bar, I was willing to make that trade-off, but I know not everybody is as mercenary and transactional as I am. But hey, it is what it is. Look at Blue Collar hanging his head in shame over there. He's like, Jesus Christ. I've had enough of your shit.
No, I was checking out your live chat about. You said you wanted to tell. Was it Chucksenhausen? Oh,
yeah. Chuck had an opinion circling back on the whole as meltdown thing. So I said he should. I said, well, post it in the live chat because we'd previously talked about it, and I gave him the link to here. So.
Oh yeah. I always send the mods the links and they never come in. I mean, I want it to be clear, like, hey, I want them to all come in eventually.
The thing is, man, except
they don't need to.
Yeah, well, no, it's not that they don't need to. It's just me and Chris and Russ. I mean, we do YouTube. I mean, that's like our main thing is that that's why we're on there. But a lot of those guys, they just want to get in there and they want to mod a little bit and be in
No
some of
peer
the
pressure.
conversations.
Yeah.
But they don't really want to get on here and hear and see
Well,
themselves. You know what I mean?
No worries then. No worries then.
No, even the drinker himself told me that on a Patreon. He goes, dude, is like this format? Yeah, like it's not a lot of people. I mean, we buzz balls with Mueller. No one knows his appearance.
Well, that is also why I send the YouTube link in case they want to just watch and leave comments. Which is also appreciated.
Which a lot of times they do, and that how
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we got a lot of participation in the past from the guys that are the guys and girls that are the mods.
Well, something I also wanted to talk about with the strike is like more AI proving how replaceable everyone is. The Newery, the first AI pop singer, has officially released a debut single after signing with industry giant Warner Music. This is true. This is real. And this is not that great. And everyone knows it. But this video, this music, this character, everything is generated completely out of nothing by a computer. So nobody had to work. Everyone just someone put a prompts in here and got these results. Probably took maybe an hour to make this.
Hey guys, my people are here, so I'm gonna have to pop off so I can let them in the building.
Consider yourself lucky because you're gonna avoid this mess. I'll send you a link to this later.
I'll catch it on a. Oh no, thank you. No.
Let us know how Goonies is.
No, thank you, my friends.
All right, man. It was good talking.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know how Goonies is on the.
I think we're probably only gonna go for probably another 45 minutes anyway, and so.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
All right.
Well,
only. That's a
short 3-hour stream.
I'll remind you that we did a 6-hour Ninja Turtles.
We're gonna do a 6 or 7 hour William Friedkin stream next Monday, and I really want to talk about every single. I even saw his Twilight Zone episode, the Night Crawlers. I watched. I'm trying to watch everything, and I know Northern English Bastard did too, and you guys can watch. Probably as long as we have at least 2 of us that have seen everything, then we'll be good. But here, oh man, Tyler's leaving. I wanted him to see this, but I guess before.
What a beautiful background! Look how pretty his backyard is.
Oh, I know. Canada.
He lives in heaven.
No, he lives in Canada. Is Tyler back, or did he walk off?
He's back
I can't
now.
see. Oh, he's
back
back.
now.
Okay, great, cool.
We waited for you, Tyler.
I know this.
Yeah. That was a real quick pee break you did. I'm proud of you. He just shoots it out like a shotgun right over his porch. I'm just kidding. All right, so this is Newery. She is the first AI pop singer from Warner Music.
So she's a 9-year-old in slutty clothes.
It'd be so funny if I got a copyright strike for this from Warner. I just thought of that. What if that happened? It's like
she's
just news.
Why does she have to look like a child and be dressed all sexy like that?
I assume it's easy to render a smooth anime-like face, but yeah, she does have childlike proportions, which is strange. But also, it'd probably be problematic if she had huge heaving breasts. It'd be better if she was just like a monkey or something, like gorillas, like some kind of animal, like a crab or yeah, people would be all up in arms if she looked like a woman. Like crab. Jessica Rabbit, but yeah, only normal people are going to be upset about her looking like a child, which we have no problem upsetting normal.
Blue Collar's really into this. Every time you play it, his head just starts bobbing. He's like super into this.
I am not going to lie, it is weird banal. It is weird, trite nonsense. It makes no sense, but watch them fall like dominoes. Oh, Tyler has a dog. Tyler's got an old
my goodness.
Oh,
look at him.
Oh my goodness.
Old brown.
So delicious.
Is he like a? He kind of looks like a
you, Tyler.
Poodle.
You guys know each other. You know how they say it's true. Everyone looks like their pet. You guys are cute.
God.
All
God.
Do I
right.
look
Well,
like my dogs?
yeah. You look like Rufus, Megan.
You guys have only ever seen Obi, so I'll show you Rufus. Come here, Rufus. He's a good boy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I mean, this is why Jimmy Kimmel's upset, like scared. You know, he knows what's coming. He knows there's more lockdowns, except this time we're gonna be able to make our own fucking content. We're gonna be able to make our own movies and our own music videos from scratch. We won't need to see these stupid late night television show hosts telling us who to watch, you know. And so
Yep.
he's getting ahead of the curve.
God, look at it.
See, look
Just
at
want
it.
to eat.
Rufus is a good boy.
Rufus is the wiener
Tyler,
dog.
Tyler, what's your dog's name?
This is Benny. Our groomer thinks that he's a Schnauzer Poodle mix, so we just go on with it. Can't
Oh,
see-
This
can't
is a
s-
He's a
Can't see
wire-haired
or
dog
hear.
mixed with some kind of hound dog. He's so loud. He sounds like a 60-pound dog, but he's 30 pounds.
Yeah, he's
Man,
starting
you
to feel
guys
like that
should
mostly
see a
because
dog. Huh?
other than my parents' bed, like he can't stay still for like one fucking minute. And judging by the look on my dad's face when he threw him out into the backyard, he probably pissed on the floor for the millionth time this week.
oh,
Damn.
poor guy.
Yeah, this little bastard's getting old. Can't see. or
My
hear
old
good.
dog got very incontinent the last like 2 years of his life. It was very
Benny.
tragic.
Benny,
Yeah,
come here.
Rex was Enzo's old dog. When he got up on his hind legs to kind of like play with you, he was like a foot taller than me, dude.
Yeah, but like at the end of his life, like he'd lay down and he'd get up, and wherever he'd be laying, there'd just be like a big old little pee puddle. It's like, oh god, he would just like start
Poor-
peeing, just trying to stand up. Poor guy, old buddy.
What are you gonna do when that happens to me?
Yeah,
I
just
mean-
what I did with Rex. Just wait
Thing is
until
that-
your legs don't work and put you to sleep.
And then just have me anesthesia or euthanasiaed?
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Here, I
now
want.
you're making me so crooked. I put this purple thing up because when it was just the blue and then this light background, I didn't want to be misconstrued for supporting the war in Ukraine. So I put this purple
Yeah.
thing up just to like break up that line.
Oh, by the way, I finally
Like,
saw
figure
this
out another
movie.
solution.
I watched Indiana Jones 5, and you know what? It wasn't bad, but the thing is, I did watch it at quadruple speed while I was also listening to podcasts.
Funny, my mom asked me to
So-
say, she said, Chris, did you watch it? And I was like, yeah, of course I did. How was it? I'm like,
It's terrible. I was shocked when they literally, because I heard that they go to ancient Greece or whatever, and they see like the Romans
Yeah.
using catapults and ships, and I was shocked to actually see it happen.
yeah.
He
It's
looks
shocking.
like not as old as you would think.
I mean,
No.
yeah, he looks good for 80, but it's like Indiana Jones shouldn't be 80, period.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones should have died in his 50s from a gunshot wound, like a hero, like saving a bus full of
Like falling
full
off
of
a
nuns.
cliff or something. Yeah.
Now I don't know if you guys think this is like striking while the iron is hot or just being really cringy, too late, too little, too fast. Barbie, Aqua, the band who did Barbie World, they're
Barbie
on
girl,
tour.
yeah.
You know, my sister actually met
Whatever.
my sister met them in person. She got her the first CD signed because back in the
When
90s
was
they were
this?
huge.
90s. Okay.
Yeah, it was huge
They
back
had
then.
that
Come
one
on.
song. So
Yeah.
now the movie
Well,
came
you
out,
would
and now they're
really
coming back.
Capitalize.
Yep.
If you were them, you would be silly not to try to do a tour right now.
Yeah,
Do
you're
you
right.
think it's gonna be? I mean, they're playing
But
in
what
Austin.
other songs do they even have?
I don't
Oh
know.
wait, they are in Austin. Holy shit!
That's what I'm
Let's
saying.
go.
This is November 24th. I'm
you know
sure it's
what's
already sold out.
The sad part is I bought their first CD and listened to it. The lead singer, she actually has some pretty good songs. She can sing. I mean, because of course they always do, you make the most popular song you're marketing, Barbie Girl, but there's actually some tracks in there. She's got a very good fucking voice, but unfortunately, people just they want the easy teeny bopper shit. But the woman's got a good voice. So
Yeah, I mean it's easy to find singers that can sing well, especially attractive singers that can sing well. It actually is. American Idol shows that. It's easy to find people that can act well and that are pretty. They're
Yeah.
everywhere. They're all over the goddamn country. And when these writers demand more money, it's like, dude, we will just go to bumfuck Idaho and grab someone. We will just go to Germany somewhere and find the singer of this Aqua band and just put them in music videos. We don't
Yeah.
care.
I mean,
And it's
Enzo-
easy to
Enzo,
find people that are willing to work for the wages we are paying.
I mean, Enzo, you've done it too with karaoke. I do karaoke on Wednesdays. I've seen men and women that sing. And you're like, how don't you have a record album? I mean, like, these are just like, I'm in New York, like, Waterville, New York, or Albany, New York, and I've seen people out there that can fucking like they can match singers, and you're like, why aren't you? Yeah.
Well, they say with American Idol, the people who get more successful in life are the people who win second and third place, because the people who win first place basically sell their fucking rights away to 20th Century Fox or whoever.
Well, I listened to Joe Rogan recently. Joe Rogan's got that dude on the fucking the Richmond from Richmond.
Yeah,
and
that guy's a
Yeah.
giant Sasquatch of a man. He's so huge.
But he's a prime
he's
example.
like 6'7", I think he said.
Christ.
But
I thought that banjo looked tiny.
He's a prime example of how many tens of thousands of unknowns are just as good as this guy, and you never hear about him.
Yeah, and that's the other thing with like YouTube, or back a few years back, is like SoundCloud. That was making me realize, like, dude, I'm gonna just start getting music from YouTube and SoundCloud. There's so many DJs out there, because like all you need really is a MacBook and a decent mic and some decent like keyboards.
You're not
You
wrong.
can make all kinds of crazy music. And now with the camera technology, films, YouTube, people doing their own content, like that's like the Critical Drinker talking about how he's gonna get there. He Blue Beetle, like his analysis videos, like these analysis videos for these bigger channels, they're getting like comparable views to the movies they're making fun of. It's insane.
That's what's telling you earlier. It's like I was saying in group chat that I understand the problems with Mac, but like right now my camera, so this is a built-in camera on the iMac, and some people would say I have like kind of the sharpest quality, and this is just a built-in iMac fucking camera. But I do see a lot of movies and TV shows, a lot of people using Apple products, a lot of businesses love Apple, and it's
Yeah, now they're restrictive crap. I mean, back 10, 15 years ago, Apples were ahead of the curve and kind of worth their overpricedness.
Yeah.
But like, lately they just like the quality's gone down, the price has gone up, and like you can't do anything. There's like a meme where it's like some college kid venting on 4chan about how like, some green text meme, and it's like, basically the gist is he's prepared this like intense presentation on his awesome MacBook Pro, and he plugs it into the teacher's projector, and it's like, driver software downloading not working, incompatible. He's getting all these errors, and the teacher's eventually just like, you know what, just get back, sit down, we'll get you later. Some idiot comes back with his little fucking Windows PC, inferior Windows computer, plugs it in, works right away like it's supposed to. There's no damn, they got this monopoly, they got to have their special cords and their special tools and their special programs, their special software. Everything's incompatible. Like you want to save a file that works on a PC, you got to save it a certain way just to discourage people from using those dirty Windows computers.
Of all the reasons that people like kept trying to, because if you have an Android, the Apple cult starts trying to shove Apple down your throat all the time. And the thing that pushed me over was this girl said they're much more durable. She said that she had broken a lot of Androids, and when she got an iPhone, she could do all this, drop it from however long and it wouldn't break and da-da-da. And I thought, okay, well, I'm a klutz. I should have this durable phone. First of all, she was wrong. Secondly, the interface sucks to me. And third, I will never again in my life. I don't own any other Apple products, not an iPad, not an Apple TV, not anything. And everything's designed to work together. It's like you can only cast to an Apple TV.
Yeah.
You can only, and with my Samsung, I could like connect to my Google TV. You
can also take your Windows crap and plug it into a MacBook, and it will work. You know what I mean? You take a file, it works on a MacBook.
Awful unless you commit fully. You got to commit fully to the Apple lifestyle like a cult, and then otherwise none of your shit works together.
Yeah, just like all other cults, you got to swear off all your friends and family. You have to swear off all PC products. You need an Apple. You need an iMac, an iMicrowave, fucking whatever. You need an iFridge.
That's why I just keep the iMac. But this is Google Chrome. I did download for free Google Chrome onto here for StreamYard. So, but I mean, iMovie, and GarageBand for podcasting. It's been so fucking easy. Like it takes you 5 seconds to set it up. And
I agree.
That was the thing. Before I started up, I was doing podcasting for YouTube. I met with a tech guy, and he's like, I bought a laptop from Best Buy for like $500, and the amount of like software to download and the amount of stuff and the amount of extra add-ons. He goes, Chris, he's like, if you go to Best Buy and just get an iMac, he goes, it would save you so much time. And go to Best Buy, get an iMac, and I'm doing podcasts within like 45 seconds of buying the fucking thing. It's got all these apps built into it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I will give the Macs. Like, if I wanted my mother to have a computer that she can do a little bit of everything on, you would give her like a Mac, because it's very intuitive for like people who aren't tech savvy.
Yeah.
But
or like a iPad, so she doesn't have to have like a whole keyboard attached.
Well, yeah, but like I said earlier in the stream, like the iPad was cool for a while, but now it's like starting to block up. Like all the software is outdated.
Yeah, everything's got their pros and cons. And Enzo did his it's funny, Tyler Price, Enzo's like so anyway. How's everyone's September?
That's just starting off, but
All right.
that,
Yeah, we have
the TIFF festival starts for me and Josh on Saturday, so there's that to look forward to.
Yeah, some reason YouTube, I made this. I started a new file today in Final Fantasy 16 because I would just do basically 1 hour episodes for Final Fantasy. I hit episode 8, and some reason my freaking YouTube just didn't upload it. So I've kind of recreate a new file for Final Fantasy, and you can skip the cutscenes. So I'm just gonna catch up where I was at and just re-upload a new file. But
yeah, our internet went down for a second, but yeah, that's cool that you've been doing that. I didn't even realize you were doing that until recently. I was just like, Blue Collar Loser playing Final Fantasy Part 4.
And I was making a joke to Enzo that, it's like I'm not jealous by anybody, but like I don't have the time to make 5, 6, 10-hour fucking videos because some of us gotta be to work. So if I just make a 1 hour video per day, but I like it because to me it's like episodes in a TV show. So it's like, because the way Final Fantasy is, it's very cutscene oriented. So I make it to like I look forward to playing it 1 hour a day, and like I feel like it's like the binge model.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when I play my video games and listen to my Jack show and stuff like that and drink beer, it's fun. I can only do it for like 3-4 hours at a time tops, and a week, and I do it all like I'll save like one of the weekend days for it, But what's so messed up is like I feel like if I was streaming me playing GTA, I would get some pretty good views because I am pretty elite on that game, dude. I'll fucking kill the shit out of everybody, dude. It's crazy. I'll beat you in the race. I'll beat you in the parachute contest. I'll beat you in the fucking one-on-one death match.
I talked to a friend of mine recently. My friend's actually playing Starfield, and he wants to sometimes play 5, 6, 7 hours in a row. He's like, Chris, well, we're getting older. Our bones and our ligaments. I'm like, he's like, we're 40 years old. I said, dude, I'm 42. I feel physically younger than when I was my 20s, but I'm like, I can't play any more 5, 6, 7 hours of Call of Duty. After 1 hour, I'm like, I feel fat and sluggish. Like
that's the other thing about Call of Duty. It's too repetitive. You're just doing the same thing over and over. In this GTA, there's like mini games. There's like last team standing, there's death matches, and.
But even like Final Fantasy, like if I play like an hour and a half, I just have to get up and stretch my legs to move around and stuff. It's like I'm not the size of the Rock, but like Joe Rogan said this too. It's like human beings, we are not meant to sit in front of a fucking computer screen for 15 hours a day. Our body's not designed for that shit. Like
but it's fun though.
Yeah, and I'm starting to wonder if that's like slowing me down as a creator.
Of course,
because for the life of me, like I'm spending more time scrolling through shit and trying to come up with something to write or record, as opposed to writing and recording. Like I
definitely recommend using your phone and pacing around, like walking around when you can, and recording on your phone if you can for notes and stuff.
Yeah.
For notes, that comes to me naturally, and that's come up with some of my best stuff. Like every single DuckTales video essay I did, I was walking, writing notes, looking up for traffic. Hey, every single one of those videos, every single one of those videos got me thousands of views, and well, DuckTales is literally inked into me.
I know. Well, what's funny is back to like just like I don't know, kind of talking about like with like harvesting content for like rage clicks. This was like Blue Collar keeps joking about. Can't wait till Marvels comes out so I can do. It's like I agree, but at the same time, don't start relying on that shit, man. It'll turn you into
I'm just saying, like the thing is, like it's like Equalizer. I was hoping it would be good, and it was good. I'm expecting the Marvels to be shit, but none of these people. I can't see anybody spending $60 on a game that's going to take you 200, 300, 400 fucking hours, and you're expecting it to be shit. But the guy, he's got a valid criticism, but it's just let him have his criticisms. He's allowed that. As is not, he's not trying to cancel nobody. The opposition is
No, that's
trying
the
to,
other
like,
thing.
you know.
Yeah, people were saying like, "Oh, this is just like with the Harry Potter game, where you were telling everyone, to buy it because trans people were boycotting it, and you're telling everyone to boycott it. So now, when this game is happening, you're basically freaking out." And it's like, yeah, but he hasn't told anyone to like not buy the game. He isn't calling for a boycott.
Yeah,
He's just tired of the current day. He said, "Why are you going to current day us like a verb?" It's funny.
100%, and that's what Drinker said in his live stream with talking about Rachel Ziegler. At some point, somebody super chatted him about this guy Asmongold. I have only had small interactions with this guy, but like his Twitch streamers, I can't stand the fucking dude. Think he's an asshole. But if Drinker wants to have him on, but my thing is, if Asmongold's a fucking scumbag, let him be on Twitch. He doesn't affect my everyday life. It's like the guy's a prick, okay? But I don't care. Like Dr. Disrespect. Dr. Disrespect was fucking filming teenagers going to the bathroom. Yeah. Dude, you're a fucking asshole, man. But you know what? I truly don't care. Just stay the fuck away from me. I'm at the point in my life where I don't care. If you want to be a dickhead, be a dickhead. It's like, just leave me alone.
Well, YouTubers, like that's the other thing is like a lot of YouTubers already pivoting to old stuff, old stuff to talk about, especially when you're talking about like these current, contemporary review channels. And also like a lot of people talking about how they're happy to do it, like I think Vex talked about it and Bagface talked about it yesterday on that stream where they're just like, honestly, and I know Dark Hour said it multiple times after Barbie. Like, I'm so glad to not be talking about, I don't care about, rushing to the theater so I can go to the podcast and the stream and talk about this new movie. I'm glad we're not doing it all the time. We do it sometimes and I don't mind it, but it's like, if we did that every week, I would go crazy.
Yeah.
We got to talk about Equalizer 3. It's like, I didn't see it. It's not a big deal. You guys saw it. You can tell me how it is. It's no big deal. But Christ almighty. And also, honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to watching Equalizer 3. But you're telling us to rush out to see Mermaid. That feels so long ago. But man, that was a painful week.
I know Blue Collar has, but Tyler, you want to jump in for some Schlocktober for the spooky season?
Forgot all about that.
It's the next 3 weeks. Once I get back Tuesday, boys, anytime you guys are available, day or night, and you got an hour to kill, an hour and a half to kill, just say, yo, because I'm going to be, I think this whole month of September, I'm going to be just parked in the man cave for most of the time, either streaming or editing, watching a movie, editing or streaming. Like I'm going to try to do that for like solid month and get like the next 2 months covered, including the stupid Renfield video, which is like something I've been working on for a while. Or I worked on it for 2 days and then I stopped for like several weeks. That's basically what happened. So,
I feel you on that, man. I had like this idea for a Pirates of the Caribbean video essay that I realize is like going to take me forever to get fully in on this. Cause my God, there is just, I'd say there's so much to cover, but that's just because they crammed fucking everything but the kitchen sink when it comes to that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
And also, I mean, I said this like a week or two ago, how the director of those, Gore Verbinski, kind of likes to infuse horror and comedy in all this stuff, even though it doesn't always mix.
Yeah.
And I forced myself on like every 10 minutes or whatever to watch his Lone Ranger with Johnny Depp.
Oh, yeah.
That movie is gross for no other reason other than it wants to be. I mean, William Fichtner literally eats James Badgedale's heart off screen.
Wow.
Off screen, like they try to make it deep with like shadows covering up everything. Very ugly orange gray shadows that kind of look like Spielberg back when he bleach bypassed everything. And I'm trying to think of what else. Oh yeah, apparently rabbits are cannibals because there's one moment where like Tonto is roasting a rabbit, takes a piece in front of all these other rabbits, throws it at them, and all of a sudden they get werewolf teeth. And I'm just sitting there going, what the fuck am I watching right now?
Yeah.
Like, was that a mythological thing?
I will say the end of The Passenger, even though we suggested it, left me so... There was a thing that I wanted to know the answer to, and I just Googled and Googled and Googled, and I don't know if I'm dumb and just didn't get it, or because there was nothing that explained it. There was just a very random line that seemed unconnected to everything else that was going on. And it was like at the very end of the movie, and it was like that had to be some callback I didn't notice, or some kind of like moral of the movie, but it seemed to not really have much to do with anything, and it really unsettled me. Like it really
Yeah. Well, the
bothered me.
thing is,
I didn't
when
get
scenes like,
closure.
well, it happens. Giraffe symbolism. It means giraffes giraffes represent things like aspiration and uniqueness and the gift of prophecy. But that's crazy because like aspiration and uniqueness, those are like common themes with the movie, because it's like monotony and not standing out and having a life of nothing, and they're saying something, but it's like it's up to you to figure it out, I guess,
There was
but I want you guys to
zoo
see the movie though. It's about it's a weird line about a giraffe, and then
there was a zoo in Portland I love to go to, and they did something I really respect. They didn't take captive any just wild animals. They only took animals that had some sort of like, disability or something where they needed like special care. And so like each one of these animals you see like, was rehabilitated in some way, which I thought was really cool. But there's this giraffe. I don't know what happened to this giraffe, if it was born this way, if it got hit in the head. But, they have these big, long black tongues. And this giraffe couldn't control his head. He looked like Michael J. Fox. And his tongue just was hanging out. There was no way he could, like, get it back in his mouth. So he was just walking around like, blah, 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 and I stood there for like 20 minutes watching that crazy giraffe.
horrified.
His tongue was like this far off his face. And he was just
Were
like,
you scared, or were you laughing, or what were you doing?
I was laughing incredibly the entire time. I couldn't walk away from it.
I would have seen that guy and I would have been like, oh, I would have been sad. See, that kind of thing I was seeing, it bummed me out.
He would have died in the wild. He's living a great life now. So
true. But the other ones you feel sad for. They're like, look, I'm stuck in this cage with this idiot. Get me out of here.
The coolest part was they had this aviary with like these giant, I think it was eagles, but they had their wings messed up so they couldn't actually fly to you. So there was no net between you and this like eagle habitat because they couldn't hurt anybody anyway. So you just got to go, no gates, no fences, no nothing.
You think the zookeepers just go out there and keep trimming their wings? Like, what happens when one of the eagles like,
why would you say that?
I could fly, and they're like, oh, we can't have that. Can't lose one of our prized
eagles. You guys know those
eagles.
medieval times restaurants where they do like the jousting, like that?
Of course. The cable guy.
I went one time to one of those, and I went to go smoke a cigarette outside, and they had a hawk from the hawk show in a little cage like this big. And it's like watching the hawk show, you're like, oh, cool. And then I went out there and saw like how they kept the little hawk, and I'll never go back again.
Just like all the other circus animals, the reason why they listen to the lion tamer is because they're fucking psychologically abused their whole lives. They don't understand they're even, there's a life outside that cage.
I think they're on drugs to calm them down.
Yeah, that too. They're probably heavily sedated. Lions, definitely. Here, this is fun. This is I like to end the show on high notes.
Are in a silent depression. When you compare the Great Depression to today, this is going to absolutely blow your mind. In 1930, during the Great Depression, the average home in America was $3,900. The average car was $600, and the average monthly rent was $18 or $216 a year, and the average salary was $1,300 for the year. Fast forward to today, it is $436,000 for the average home, $48,000 for the average car, and the average rent is $2,000 a month or $24,000 a year. And we have a $56,000 income for the average American right now. So if you look back to the Great Depression, the house was only 3 times the average salary. Now it is 8 times the average salary. The car was 46% of the salary. The car today is 85% of the salary. And here's the craziest part. The rent was 16% of the average salary. It is now 42% of the average salary.
So the issue is we need to make more money. The issue is these bastards need to take less of our money. We're making more money than ever.
I gotta say one thing, because you guys know I've been doing Uber full time basically now. But like I'm driving a 2022 Ford Maverick, which I bought literally brand new. The market value on a brand new Maverick is $20,000.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, well, the average car is $48,000. What the fuck you driving, bro?
I'm driving like a
I'm-
2020 Subaru Crosstrek that was like 21 total TTNL, like walk out the door price. So
because people,
that's like more than twice
I made
what I
this
paid
joke
for
that
a nice new car.
I rented for 2 weeks for Uber because it's a Uber partnership program at Tesla.
Yeah, but
for
most
2 weeks.
these newer cars that are all saying these newer cars
Yeah.
with like computers inside of them and shit, you know, the
But still,
price
but
goes
They
up.
all
And
have
also, like, just
computers
changing the
inside.
brake
But
light
I-
on them is changing the brake light on them is so much more expensive than it used to be. Like just
I
a
know,
simple
but,
thing like that.
but this guy's saying that the average car is basically 50 grand. I don't know unless you want to drive a fucking Mustang or a
I assume he's
high-end
talking
Tesla.
about a 2023 car of some kind, but yeah,
He said
I don't know.
58 actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
58.
well,
yeah. I'm just saying.
highly
I
dubious. Still,
disagree. He's
but yeah,
right
you feel
about
it in
the
your rent though.
2,000 a month rent. He's
feel
right
it in
about
your
the
rent,
2,000 a
though.
month rent.
You know, like the rent used to be the idea that rent is only 15% of your bills. You know, 15% of your money. That's
Well, I think
crazy.
that depends
Rent
on
has
where you
always
live.
been at least half of my money. You know.
I know it depends on where you live. That's why you guys see me streaming from my mom's house now. My apartment cost me, no joke, it was $600 a month for an apartment.
What?
So I'm like, I just said when I hear numbers like $2,000, I'm like, well, where are you living? Like,
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm just
I
like,
mean,
I live in New York State. I don't know a single person right now who pays $2,000 a month in fucking rent. So I mean, where
Yeah,
you
but
living?
1,400 is definitely like the total low side now. Average, you know, normal.
I live 45 minutes away from the city center and the metroplex I live in, and all the houses around here are going for like around 2,000, 2,200 to rent like a pretty modest, like, you know, maybe 1,200 square feet or something. Not like a giant house, but this area is blowing up with like Tesla and Starlink and all the tech companies, and also Joe Rogan and all his friends have moved here, and it's like things are just getting more and more and more and more expensive, including my property taxes. God damn it.
No, I totally agree, Mick, because my friend Carlton lives in New Hampshire, and it's what we said. Like, it's like I can make $30 an hour in New York, and he makes $30 an hour in New Hampshire, and boy, his cost of living, it's like basically where he lives in New Hampshire, he makes $30 an hour. That's like my $50 an hour because his cost of living is so much. Like he lives
Right.
way better than I do because, and the funny part is, if I leave my house right now, his house is maybe like an hour. I'm going to say a 75-minute drive to his house. I'm like, dude, I went to his house last time. I got gas in my truck. His gas, and no lie, was 65 cents a gallon cheaper than my house. And I'm like, how the fuck is that possible?
I paid
bro?
$4.29 a gallon yesterday.
Really?
It's like
Wow.
but it's like
$4.29 a gallon.
but it's like $1 more than like the rest of the pumps out here. That was what was the problem. Is we
Yeah.
stopped at this random stop, like off the freeway, and it was like 4 something. Jesus. And then we went to the fucking very next gas station, was like 3 something. It's like, motherfucker. Hell.
Right now in New York, I'm gassing up my truck. I just put $50 in, but I was paying $3.85 a gallon.
The gas is gonna go up though, because
Well, you get all those taxes just from being in the state. Like, even if you don't live near the city, which is obviously the most populous area of the state, you have all those taxes.
That's what kills me too.
Because
People,
the populous areas control the state.
people don't get that. It's like being, I'm in Albany, New York, and New York City is like it's 2 hours away. But boy, it's like $20 in Albany versus $20 in New York City. Not even a fucking comparison. It's crazy.
Well, here's another thing that's stupid. It's like, so there's like a gas tax on like a lot of places like New York, California. They have a gas tax, a gas on tax, and that gas is used for roads. But like, let's say we all convert to electric cars and stop using so much gas, then like, okay, then all the roads are going to turn to shit unless we start taxing like, you know, our individual homes and stuff.
Now,
more.
I was always curious with Tyler because Tyler is obviously in Canada with the Providence. Do you guys have like how we have it? It's like you can live in Texas versus New York versus California, and you have 3 different kinds of incomes. Are you guys the same way where it's like different provinces have different higher living costs and shit?
That's not really my greatest department of information. I'm trying to look up like most affordable places. The closest thing I can get is like, apparently HGTV did this one, I don't know, article or some shit last month where allegedly the cost of living at the lowest is Quebec. I call utter bullshit on that because of how high the taxes are. I don't know. I have
Maybe the lowest in terms of big cities.
Maybe I'm not entirely sure. I mean, all the talk that Enzo has and a bunch of other people have been saying about how things are slowly going back to the living hell that they were 3 years ago makes me wonder if Alberta or Saskatchewan is nice this time of year. But
Now, here's the thing. They want us to lock down
I
for
hear
the
ya.
COVID. That's not going to happen. It's not going to work. We're all going to push back. So they're going to try something else like a power outage or a cyber attack.
Did you guys all see Justin Trudeau's pink suit photo shoot for Vogue?
Yeah.
no, and I don't want to. Thank you.
Yeah, we saw it. I
It's-
saw it.
I want to see it.
Seeing him and his son in pink hoodies taking a break from breaking the country was bad enough.
There was a wonderful quote that was attributed to that cover, and it said, it was like, what was it? Jordan Peterson is like, you think you think you're worried about what evil men can do. Wait till you see what weak
Strong
men can
men.
do. Yeah, you think
Yeah.
you're worried about what strong men can do. Wait till you see the evil shit that weak men are capable of doing.
I am so glad that when I was editing Russ's video, he let me keep the fuck Trudeau part in the
Good.
in the Anakin translation. Like the second he said Hutties would be French, I just sat there and went, well, you asked for it.
You guys want to see the most offensive meme of the week?
Oh boy.
Obviously.
Here you go. The perfect bag. Does it oh darn.
Oh damn.
You waited for Wes to leave, didn't you?
No, I mean,
Because Wes would have lost his fucking mind with that.
I didn't mean to. I assumed Wes was going to be here all day because like this was his.
Wes has literally said on
he
the
wanted
show,
to talk about Equalizer, which we didn't really talk about too much. I thought we were going to talk about the other 3 movies too.
I didn't want to only because me and Wes already did like an hour and 45 minute stream.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
You got it out of your system.
There's nothing more I can say about
cool,
it. So.
Cool. I'll watch the stream in its entirety on the drive home tomorrow or Wednesday when I leave. Did you hear that, Megan? As far as okay, well, cool. Surprise you for later. As far as yeah. This was just what I was saying. It was funny was about how Toxic was like, I want to do the stream about the Equalizer and the new movies coming out, old movies coming out again. And I was like, cool, because I guess I could push back the freaking stream because it'd be cool to do a 3-hour stream at Megan's house as opposed to like either hurrying home today so I could talk about William Friedkin for 7 hours.
Yeah.
Which is lame. Or I could talk about William Friedkin for 7 hours here at Megan's house on her birthday weekend. Or we could just push it back and talk about 3 hours of just bullshit with the homies.
Yeah.
Which is always fun. I guess if there's anything else anyone wants to end on or talk about, anything we
For
want
my
to talk about.
actual birthday day, I cut quilt squares.
Yeah.
Oh, I just checked ends on my phone and apparently Megan sent me a friend request, so I had to accept
I
it.
did.
All right.
No, got it.
Yay. I don't really have
You stay away from her, you son of a bitch.
I can't satisfy the way you can. Come on.
Yeah. Wes is always flirting with her too. It's funny.
Yeah, you said I was gorgeous the other day. I didn't know how to respond. It was like one of your buddies telling me, like, hey, man, you're really handsome.
You guys are allowed to be jealous of me because I got a super based, awesome girlfriend. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Stop it now. That's starting to get over
Plus,
the line.
plus you're Italian. You're well endowed. So.
Oh, I didn't say it.
You know, I was talking to a doctor
people
one
say it.
time, and my doctor asked me, how's your romantic relationship going? And I said, oh, I'm talking to this guy. He's, been my friend a while. He's Italian. And then my doctor, who's Italian, he put up his hand like, wait a second.
Like,
and then he goes, Italians make great lovers. That's all I'll say. Go on. And I was like, all right, why don't you? He's like, by the way, he's like 75, 80 years old. So it's like for him to talk about how good he is at fucking, it was like, all right, cool. All right. Well, you did make all those grandkids.
I'm a terrible dancer, but I don't know. Whatever. What was
is
it?
Dancing an Italian thing? Is that like a thing you're supposed to be good
No.
at when you're Italian?
No, I mean, I would think that if someone's a good dancer, you'd assume they're like a good sex guy, right?
I mean, that the coordination is, I think, like a lizard brain thing that women notice. But
Look,
Tyler, what are you? You look red-haired.
No, we always say
I'm
that.
not
And he
right.
gets upset.
So what are
he's
you,
like
Irish,
that
Tyler?
auburn. He's like auburn hair.
Oh, is it auburn? Is it brown?
It's like
I've always
it's a
thought
reddish
it was red.
brown.
I keep telling people that you guys think I'm ginger, and they all just look at me and go,
Can you get like slightly closer to the camera? Because I always thought you were redheaded.
Well, no,
I thought
it's
it was too.
It's
Is
not
it
gonna,
with the
is
lighting.
it
it's not
brown?
gonna matter. There's no sunlight out here, so you can't really see.
Yeah,
Tyler is redheaded
but
in
I'll
the
take
same
your
sense
word
that
for it.
Megan.
Is it brown?
Tyler and Megan are like the same sense of gingerness, or I guess Megan's more ginger. Megan's got more red hair.
Mm.
Megan's like legit fair skinned redhead. No, see, I guess the thing is we look at
I
your
was
beard. That's
floating
the
on
thing,
the river,
Tyler.
just
Yeah.
paddling.
Tyler, we look
and
at your
this-
beard. Like, yes, the
Oh.
hair on your head is much darker, and your eyebrows are dark brown. They're brown hair, but your
Mhm.
beard is like a very
So
autumn,
again, what's the deal? Where
you
did your
know-
blood come from? Like, are you like German? Are you like Irish? Are you? Is that a weird way to phrase that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
What
Yeah.
are you?
you're what?
God damn it.
Polish.
Polish. Interesting. Did you actually do a 23andMe, or is that just like you asked your parents?
Well, my grandpa came here from Poland during
There you
the
go.
war, so
That's
there's that about
pretty
it.
good evidence.
What about your? What about? No, I get that. I'm saying, what about your grandma? I'm just interested.
Well, my grandma has a.
I was going to ask Blue
German-
Collar the
has a-
same thing in a second.
She's filing a dossier, you guys.
My
No,
grandma
I'm
has.
not. I'm just interested. I think it's cool that we have diversity on this panel. Okay.
I was
That's
being
true.
Go on.
sarcastic.
Do you guys want my answer or not?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm kind of drunk.
Me too.
I like how Wes always shares my Wes is like the most hated guy on the Critical Drinker page, and he's always sharing my stream. I'm wondering if like I have people who like just renounce this show and this channel because Toxic on there. If so, that's funny. I mean,
I'm always gonna say like Wes has been kind to me, and like I
We're
would.
not letting Tyler answer you guys.
You started.
My grandma does have a German last maiden name, so there's that about it. And
Yeah.
allegedly, Wolf is a German last name to begin with, so maybe my grandpa had some heritage. I'm not entirely sure. When my grandpa
German
left,
Polish.
he never went back for even a day, even when things were back to normal. So that should really say everything.
So
Yeah.
Polish, German. What about you, Blue Collar? You look
I mean,
French. If I had to
I don't-
guess, I would say you're French.
Technically, my mother's side is Dutch, but my dad's side, by all accounts, and I said I don't play this card too often because genetics. But my father was a full-blooded Mohawk Indian, and
Wow.
I
Full-blooded.
do have land in New York State on a reservation. It's called Akwesasne, and I do have an actual legal Indian name.
Shut
people-
the front
People
door.
always say, "Why don't you play it for us?" Because it's like I have a sister who's half and half, and like I don't want to like my entire personality isn't because I'm half Indian, and plus I don't have like my sisters. My sisters have
That's
the brown
not the
eyes, the
PC
brown
name,
hair.
okay? Can
Yeah,
you
I
just
just-
like not say Indian?
God.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I say Indian for it. But no, my dad, my Aunt Terry. People see my Aunt Terry when I was in jail. They drink for jail. But my Aunt Terry, she's full blooded Mohawk Indian. They say, "Is that your aunt?" I'm like, "Yeah." So your aunt's Indian? Yeah. So are you Indian? I'm like, well, if my aunt's Indian, what do you
Yeah,
think I am, bro?
nice.
So that's
So
the
I-
region that the Mohawks were in, is like up in New York State area.
Yes. New York. Well, like anything, New York State, Syracuse, New York is like a lot of Syracuse Indians. There's like Algonquins and Seneca Indians. I'm Mohawk, just like the Mohawk River and like the Mohawk Valley, and it's just
Damn.
That's
something
so
where
cool.
people ask me all the time, like, Chris, well, why don't you go back to live on the res? I actually have land on the reservation. I can say with 100% certainty the problem
And
with the
you're a
res.
raging alcoholic. It all
That's it,
makes
see?
sense.
Ah, it all
Exactly.
makes sense
Holy
now. It
shit.
ties together.
That's why.
Oh my god!
That's why I wish my dad was like. My dad was like,
drink
Chris,
like a motherfucker and drive your car around like a red demon.
Indians on the res would these guys would wear jerseys saying
We
Redskins.
Change your
These
name
guys,
to Red Collar Loser. God damn it!
well, the funny part, because my last name I don't care, it's Edwards, but Edwards is a white name. My family over generations had to
Yeah.
adapt a white name. It's because you had to for legal purposes. But
Yeah,
my
a lot of
dad,
people did.
yeah, but my father, that's why I said we laugh about the whole PC shit. At least my reservation, I never met a single Indian that was offended by the term Indian, because dad's like, Chris, my dad was born 1952. And he goes, we didn't care. It just, they didn't give a shit.
Oh,
They
it's
weren't
still
this.
called the Bureau of Indian Affairs legally, and
Yeah.
and nobody cares about that. So I actually ended up talking to the Bureau of Indian Affairs after the whole what was it, one of these Keystone Pipeline protests or something. But all these hippies came out, camped, protested, and then left a bunch of dogs whenever they like left and went home. And so they were like, the Army Corps wasn't only cleaning up all this mess from basically like a Burning Man on a reservation that nobody asked for, but then there was all these dogs around. And I read this
Yeah.
story and I got really pissed off. And so I ended up talking to the water, what was it, the water director of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, which is like the tribe all that was about. And he was like, yeah, we voted in the winter and we didn't want them here. And they wouldn't leave. And he was just like, we didn't know how to tell these, crazy white hippies that please get off our land. And they wouldn't leave. But it was about the dogs. They just pissed me off. And I just had to go. But yeah, Resland
Typical
is
white
like,
woman concerned about the animals.
yeah, but I mean, Resland is like, it's a different sort of interaction or respect, or, you don't talk to them like you would talk to Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, I couldn't share Enzo, but no, if anybody can Wikipedia, it's New York State. It's called Akwesasne, and I was born on an Indian reservation. So I just said
an X in that word.
It's I can spell it to you right now. It's it's AKWESASNE. It's right on. It's on the Canadian border. Well, it's called Akwesasne. But the reason I was arrested for because I was actually transporting marijuana from Canada to New York State, and it all through the reservation. So
hey, why do Native Americans hate April?
I mean,
because April showers bring May flowers, but May flowers bring white
people.
Oh my God!
This is what I laugh for when people talk about racism, segregation. I could say one thing, guys. When I was in fucking prison, I met, because we're in New York State prison, I met different Indians from different fucking sections in New York. People are so segregated that if you're from a Buffalo reservation or a Syracuse reservation, or I'm in Hogansburg, New York reservation, people hate each other. It's like, guys, we're all Indians. They don't give a fuck. If you're from a Mohawk reservation and you go visit a Seneca reservation, they don't want you there. And we're like, dude, we're all Indians. They don't give a fuck, man. Like, people.
Okay, but regarding. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, people always say black and white and stuff in slavery. Indians, people tend to forget that, guys. Indians from down south, like Apaches, did not like Mohawk Indians. Human beings are very tribal and territorial. It doesn't matter about skin color. It's how it is,
So regarding the weed thing, I'm not sure if it was like before or after weed was legal, both in, basically all around the Northeast. But isn't, if I recall correctly, state laws don't apply on Native reservations, but federal laws do?
Basically, what happens when I got arrested, I was actually arrested by they're called the tribal police. The feds came in because back in the day, if you had, say, like 100 pounds of weed in your trunk, right, you could cross into Indian Mohawk territory and the state troopers couldn't do jack shit. So the feds came in and said, listen, you got to start changing shit because, you guys are allowing criminals to have sanction on your land. And the feds come in and said, either you make your own police on the reservation, or the feds are going to come in and fucking shut your whole goddamn reservation down. So now they have what they call the Akwesasne tribal police. The tribal police held me. They actually had to transfer me over to the New York State troopers, because on Akwesasne land, they can't charge you for a crime. So I was charged for possession of marijuana on New York State, even though I was on Indian land. It's a whole clusterfuck, man.
I really thought it couldn't be state, but I think that's because here in Oklahoma, well, I don't live in Oklahoma, but anyway, everything basically east of Tulsa got designated as native land, and so these people couldn't be tried by the state, only by the federal government, and it ended up releasing at least 2 pedophiles, which the entire court cases were about. And they were like, well, it happened on res land where this guy like fucked a 4-year-old. And they were like, but you shouldn't be able to prosecute him because, we're on a reservation and you're the federal government. And they let that guy go.
I can tell you one thing, that most tribal police, they don't live on a reservation. They live off the reservation because they're very hated, because they're kind of like, hey, you're fucking traitors, you're turncoats, you're not one of us. Why are you helping the quote unquote white man arrest Indians? Because on the reservation, I'm not sure where you and Tyler live, On a reservation, there's two jobs.
I love more.
You pump gas or you work in a casino. But there's no jobs on the res. That's why most Indians have felonies because there's nothing to do on the res but be a drug smuggler. There's no jobs.
Did you guys hear Az for a second there?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry
about that.
Oh, that wasn't me this time.
Here's the thing. You can't say, you can't say that all the Europeans gave the Native Americans smallpox. That's a blanket statement. It's not right. Blanket statement.
Oh my God! Fuck! Get out! Get out!
And on that
how long
note,
have you been holding that in? Like, how long have you been waiting to pepper that into the conversation?
listen, don't worry about it, guys. On that note, look, it's been 3 hours. We got to go get some Tex-Mex. Okay, it's Megan's birthday.
I just want to say
some stuff. Play us out.
Little something. There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off. Fuck that. Bethesda. There is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on the PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my God, just think of this world, just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I get involved with, all the fights, all the relationship, all the people I meet, all the places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And I love nothing more than with all the tea, so you can fucking current date us. Sorry, do you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day California shit! Because we're boring! We're so fucking boring! We can't see past our own fucking reflection! That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda Western Game Company! Fuck your immersion! Fuck you having a good time! Fuck you falling into a world and just getting lost! No! Current fucking day!